Making money starting from level 1 in GTA Online can be extremely hard. But now in 2025, making millions per day has never been easier when starting from zero. But with a vast variety of different businesses and missions, it can be extremely hard to know where to start. But don't worry, today I'm going to be showing you guys the best method to make millions of dollars per day in GTA Online, starting from zero. By the end of this video, not only will you have millions in the bank, but you will have the tools to start building an empire in GTA Online. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so to start off the video, we're going to go with the best criminal career paths that you can take in GTA 5. Now, because we are on the next gen version of this game, you start off with $4 million. If you're not on the next gen version, don't worry, you still will make enough money to ultimately get no oppressor, as well as many other things that give you a passive income in the game. So there are 4 options for you to choose from as your criminal career begins. We have executive, we have gun runner, which allows you to make your fortune in the illegal arms trade. We have a nightclub owner, which is pretty much self-explanatory. You run and sell drugs out of the bottom floors of your nightclub. And then we have the biker gang, which is kind of out in the middle of the sand district, and you have different markets as well that you can sell statewide. But the first option that we are going to select here is going to be gun runner. Now, after you select gun runner, it is going to give you the option to select a bunker. Now, there are many different bunkers to choose from, but I can't stress you enough. Make sure you select the bunker that I choose in this video. The Smoke Tree Road bunker is good, but it is a little too expensive for us here in this beginner step, and it's also in the top right corner of the map. So you don't want to select that one. You actually want to select Chumash bunker, which is going to be on the edge of Los Santos, as you can see on the map. So it's not too bad of a location, and it's also pretty cheap. Now, after you've selected your bunker, it's going to give you the option to select bunker upgrades. We have bunker upgrade pack A, B, C, D, and it continues to go on. However, for this process, we are not going to keep our money in our pocket. We are going to buy the most expensive option, which is going to be bunker upgrade pack A, which allows us to have the latest equipment so we can get higher valued stock. Now, for the next section, we are going to do vehicles. Now, for vehicles, you are trying to save money here because you're probably not going to use this vehicle, as we do get a couple pretty good free vehicles in game, which you will see in the video. So you can either get the Bobcat or one of those 2 trucks, the white or the blue truck. I personally just get the Bobcat because it is the cheapest option to have a vehicle to get around. Now we are on to weapons. Now for weapons, you're going to want to get every single weapon that appears on the screen, because this is the only chance that you're going to have to be able to buy these weapons in the game without going through levels as well as missions. So just cop everything on your screen. Don't worry about it. We will make that money back. And then it's going to show you a summary of everything that you purchased. So we are walking in with a jump start of $711,000 after purchasing our bunker, our vehicles, our upgrades, and the 14 weapons. Like I said though, if you are on the current gen version of the game, don't worry about this step in the video. Go ahead and create your character. As you can see, I made my boy's name Michael Hunt, and we are ready to ball and take over Los Santos and show everybody why we are the next millionaire. So for our first step, it's going to spawn us in the police station because we technically just got arrested. We need to go collect the weapon stash from the ballers and show the guys that there's a new boss in town. So go over, collect the weapon stash. Now you have a couple of options here. You can either destroy them or just make it out of town. But, you know, I'm the big boss, the new guy in town. I need to show the ballers what's up. So I'm going to throw a sticky grenade at them and then make my way out of the situation. So feel free to kill these guys, like I said, though, or, you know, don't kill them and keep moving up. But we're going to go ahead and destroy them, hop in our whip, and drive back over to our bunker. Now, once you get back to the bunker, make sure you grab a snack, because this is by far one of the longest cutscenes in the game. It is not a good time, I'm not gonna lie. So grab a snack, enjoy your time, maybe go pet your dog, take your dog on a walk, take a shower. This feels like it's a 30-minute cutscene. It's not 30 minutes, but it is a very long cutscene. It'll ultimately end with him calling you a hero for, you know, buying his bunker, and to forget the conversation ultimately. But just take your time. It's gonna be a long cutscene. There's a couple more in the game, but this is by far the worst one in my opinion. So after that's done, you're gonna head over to the laptop, press right on your D-pad, and then hit X to actually go into the computer. Now, once you are in their computer, there is not many options that you guys can select at this point in game because you haven't set anything up. So you are going to select setup and then start to work on your setup missions. Now, this doesn't cost any money to set it up, so we are just going to follow the steps that they give us on screen. After you select setup, it's going to send you across the map where you will find your supply vehicle. Now, this is the same vehicle that you will use on supply runs, selling your extra supplies to ammunition. You'll make an extra 50K almost every hour. I mean, you could make more than 50K an hour off doing this vehicle, but I really don't end up doing it more than once or twice an hour. So you'll make an extra 50 to 100K from just having this vehicle alone. And it also is the startup mission for your actual bunker itself. So once you drive it back on a very nice, beautiful night, we will have our setup complete for our weapon manufacturing. So as you can see in the bottom left corner, it said tier 1 challenge complete. And now we are done with technically our first step of becoming a millionaire on GTA 5 in 2025. So for our next step, we are going to go to money and services. As you can see, they have the Maze Bank and all those other options, but we are going to go to Legendary Motorsport, sort by price, and then you can scroll through it and see all the different types of vehicles. But the reason we're doing sort by price is there is 2 free options that are actually pretty good here. We have the Chameleon and the Elegy, or Elegi, however you pronounce it. Now, they are both fairly fast, but after you analyze the stats on the vehicle, you will realize that the Elegi is actually a faster car, so you're going to want to just go ahead and cop that. Now, after you're done there, you're going to head over to the Warstock Cash and Carry and do sort by price as well. There is 2 free options in this section. It will give you a Duke of Death and a Marshal. Now, you can cop both of these or just one of them for now. The main one that you need, though, is the Duke of Death. Now, this has a rocket lock-on jammer, as well as it is basically impenetrable by bullets. So it is going to be very useful when doing all of these missions in the game. Now, you'll know you're done with the setup completely when you have the American Dream Challenge complete, as you saw on my screen. So go ahead and request your vehicle from your mechanic. It'll take a few seconds, and then you just gotta walk over and we will start the next step. If you guys have not taken the time to enable 2-step on your Rockstar account, I believe you get $500,000. I saw my boy Breeze actually get $1 million in his video. So some people are getting more than $500,000. So if you have not done that, take a second now and complete that task. But once you're done with that, you're gonna head over to the LS on the bottom corner of the map. This is down by the Cargo Port District. It's going to be just a simple LS. Now, this is the LS car meet. This is the Los Santos car meet where you will make a ton of money. The first thing you're going to do here is head over to Mimi. Now, this is going to cost $50,000 to buy a membership, but don't worry, we will make this money back due through the races that we actually unlock from being the Los Santos car meet. So the first step of this is go over and pick up Hal's vehicle and complete the time trial that the game is going to give you. So drive over to the period marked on the map and hop in. This is a super fast car, so take your time, learn how to drive at this point because you can crash this thing fairly easily. It's going to have you race to Cypress Flats in under 8 minutes, and once you complete the task, you will be done with the first set of HAL missions. Now, this is going to instantly give you a Hal's Special Works upgrade or a HSW upgrade, allowing vehicles to become the HSW vehicles. So up next, we are going to head over to this period on the map. Anytime between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m., there will be a free Sentinel XS that spawns here. Now, make sure you share this with a buddy because there's always somebody that needs a super fast vehicle. All you're going to do is do this loop around this specific light, and eventually it will spawn. This is a purple one here, and there is also a yellow one that spawns. The car looks just like this. After you secure it, head over to a LS Customs, and you're going to want to buy the loss prevention as well as the insurance, and the vehicle will then be marked as yours. Now, my reason for going and getting this vehicle is this vehicle actually allow us to be able to beat the time trials for HSW, which will ultimately make us about $350,000 in total. So you get $250K for the HSW time trial, and then there's the other time trial, which is $100,000. So make sure you guys go and get this vehicle and then do the coverage upgrades and then drive it all the way back over to the LS car meet where we were earlier so you can put your free HSW upgrade. Now, a couple of things to note here while I'm upgrading it. I'm going to explain why I did more than just the HSW performance upgrade. So I am not the best driver in the game. If you guys are solidified in your driving skills on GTA 5, then you may not need to buy the second upgrades. Now me, I did. There is multiple other upgrades that you can get for this. As you can see, the Stage 3 Turbo is $100,000, so I'm doing my best to not have to buy that, but there are a couple other options that allow the car to be just as fast. So you can either just do an engine tune for 50K, which is just as good, which I'm going to do as well for my car. That way I can actually beat the time trial. But if you guys think you can beat the time trial and you want to try it without spending the extra $50,000, by all means do it. Save your money and lock in. Now, a couple of things to note as well for this time trial once you are at it is going to try to take you to a off-road excursion that makes the time trial nearly impossible to beat. It took me about an hour and a half to figure this out, but I found a new route. So make sure you guys follow this route. All you're going to do is hang a right and then hop on the freeway and follow the freeway to complete your time trial. If you guys don't follow the freeway, it will take you up the mountains on the edge of Los Santos, and you will struggle. I kept crashing. This car is just not meant to be off-road. It is meant to be on a freeway, being at the top speed at all times. Now be very careful when you go to stoplights. If you crash at one stoplight, you probably will destroy your run and not make it. This was basically a near perfect run, and I still barely made it at the end. This is a very tough time trial. These HSW time trials are no joke. Now that road that I just passed with the sign on the right hand, that was actually where you would come out if you followed the route that the game told you to do. So by taking this route, it is a lot faster, and obviously as you can see, we are just basically going straight on the freeway the entire time, and we're able to work our way all the way to the very end and ultimately complete the HSW time trial with 7 seconds to spare. That was pretty easy. Now we made $261,000. We're able to depot that, so we came out with profit from buying the upgrades for the vehicle. Now we are on to the next set of missions that we will do in the game. These are the Vincent Cluckin Bell missions. So up first, they will have you do many different setup missions to be able to actually complete the final mission to get your massive bag of money. So up first, you're going to have a long cutscene with Vincent. After that is done, it will ask you to go to the money laundering businesses around Los Santos. All you're going to have to do is kill the enemies and then steal all of the cash that is hidden inside. Make sure you guys spam X to get the cash as quick as possible. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner, it will just, constantly go up as you are stealing all the cash from the actual locations inside of the laundromat. After that, you're just going to deliver the cash back to Vincent's lockup, and you will be done with the very first setup mission. There is 6 total setup missions, so in between the setup missions, I recommend going all the way back to your bunker and completing tasks along the way. As you can see, while I was doing that Cluckin Bell, my ammunition truck was actually ready to go. So this is the surplus supplies that were in my Chumash bunker. We can actually go sell those to ammunition to make a quick $50,000. Now on those, you sometimes will get chased. Don't really worry about it. Just keep driving it and get to the ammunition. They're pretty easy, self-explanatory delivery missions. We call those fetch missions on GTA. You just grab a car and drive it to a location. So this one's easy though. $50,000 in your bank account, and you can do this consistently every hour. So make sure you are constantly fast traveling back to your Chumash bunker and getting that free $50,000, and then also completing the cell missions whenever they are available. But that cell mission's not ready yet, so we are going to go back over and contact Vincent. If you press right on the D-pad, it will pull out your phone and you will give an incoming call from Vincent. Now we're on to the setup, breaking, and entering. As you can see, there is 5 total setup missions and then a final. So for this setup mission, you're going to drive over to the beach of Los Santos. There is a laptop that sits right here on the air hockey table. It is kind of fidgety, so just kind of move your player around till it gives you the right on the D-pad to pick up the laptop. It's usually on this little right corner. As you're walking away, it allows you to steal the laptop. So after you've stolen the laptop, run back over to your vehicle and you are going to be heading to a Terabyte. Now this is the same vehicle that you can put the oppressor in, which you will be getting later on in the game, but this is not your Terabyte right now. So you're just going to drive up to the Terabyte and it's going to have some drones protecting it. As you can see in the top of the screen, there is 2 drones. We need to destroy those drones before we can actually gain access and enter the terabyte vehicle. Now, I recommend using like an AR or something for this. Don't use the revolver pistol that you're using to kill enemies, because for some reason it doesn't hit the drones. It's like bugged out. So after you pulled out your AR and eliminated the drones, you can now enter the terabyte vehicle. And once you are inside of the terabyte, there will be a hacking device sitting on the counter on the left hand side, as well as a weapon. You can take both of those. I didn't really worry about the gun because I already purchased all of my guns. So after that, just exit the terabyte and you are going to go to the cartel's compound. Now this is where we will be stealing a train. Take your time here, guys. There is going to be a lot of enemies to eliminate in this situation. If you don't take your time and eliminate everybody, it will come back to haunt you and you will spend more time clearing this place than you imagined. So if you guys did not know as well, if you are getting weak and getting shot, all you have to do is hold your left bumper and hit up on the D-pad to take snacks, or you can take cover. Also, being in a driver's seat, this works as well. You'll want to hit your touchpad on your PlayStation controller and pull up the menu, and then there is a snacks and armor section where you can utilize them. Do your best to eliminate everybody, and then it will drop a train key and you will have to steal the train. Now, there is going to be 2 enemies up on the front side of the train that will try to headshot you, so just take your time, eliminate those 2 enemies, and then jump into the front of the train. If you guys have found this video helpful up until this point, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, and comment any questions you might have. This is a brand new GTA channel, so I'm starting from square one, just like you guys, trying to learn what you guys might need help with in these videos. So every comment helps. If there's something that you don't like, feel free to let me know, man. I love constructive criticism. I'm all for criticism, trying to make myself better and get better at ultimately making videos that help you guys out. So, but if you guys did find this video helpful so far, make sure to share it with a friend, drop a like, and subscribe. It is free to support the channel. So all we have to do is hold R2 to accelerate, and then L1 and R1 to shoot while we are in the driver's seat. There is really not much of a point though in shooting your gun. You can shoot the guys out of the back of the truck, honestly, if they're gonna kill you, but for the most part they really don't do much damage to you in the train. And then if you are gonna die, just hold your touchpad and pop some snacks. Now, a few things to note as well. As you can see, the train did stop and I have to hack it again. So to do that, I just hit right on the D-pad and it will start a hacking cooldown, allowing me to drive the train again. Pay attention for helicopters, but on this mission there is not much to pay attention to. The helicopter is going to spawn right in front of you and you could just run right through it. There's no point in stopping. The helicopter would just blow up. It's kind of silly how all the vehicles low-key spawn in the way of the train, so you really don't have to shoot much of anything. And then up here, as you can see on the map, there's like a little red thing that's gonna stop the train, so I gotta re-hack it again. So just once again, press right on the D-pad to hack the signal, and then try to shoot the guys that are in the guns. That way they don't shoot you out of the front of the train and continue to go forward. As you can see, every time these trucks pull up that have gunners in the back, I'm not really looking to shoot the driver. I'm actually looking to shoot the gunner out of the back of the truck, so that way I don't die. But I got a little weak there, gonna need to pop some snacks as well as hack the signal, but there's not really any point of popping snacks at this point if you are this far on the train ride, because you are essentially at the end. Once you get around this corner, there will be a tunnel up to the right and the mission will be complete. As you can see, there's a little tunnel right here under, yes. So here is the tunnel and you're able to escape with the train, and it will put you through a nice little mission past cutscene and tell you nice job, you know, good job, you're done now with the second mission of the Cluckin Bell setup, and we're one step closer to being a millionaire on GTA 5. Now, a couple of things to note. We are done with this mission. You guys can either go back to Vincent, or you can go back to your Chumash bunker and either do a sell mission if it is ready, or as well as sell to ammunition for $50,000. If you guys did not know, you can go all the way back to your Chumash bunker, or you can set your preferences to spawn you by your apartment. So as you can see, my preferences is set to Chumash, but I'm actually going to swap it to my apartment complex because that is closer to the V on the map. And then all I have to do from that point is actually hit the options on my controller, and I'm able to go and find a new session. Now, to find a new session, you're going to go to the online tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom where you see find new session next to credits and legal, and then click on invite only session. After you do that, just hit X and it will zoom you all the way across the map. As you can see through this animation, it's going to spawn me back in Los Santos at my apartment, which is, guess what? Right next to the V on the map, so I didn't have to drive across the world to complete my setup missions. Now, this is something you're going to want to use all the time whenever you travel from your nightclub that you're going to purchase, whenever you travel from your Chumash bunker, when you are doing setup missions for the wonderful Cayo Perico, you're going to always want to use fast travel. Well, now we are on to our next setup, which is concealed weapons. As you can see, there's 3 points on the map, A, B, and C. I recommend doing A because it is actually the easiest. So you're going to drive all the way over and it will just be a nice little gang hideout. Now, these gang hideouts cannot be fun. Do your best to not blow up any of the vehicles because the vehicles actually have weapons in the back that you are going to need to secure. So use an AR, use your revolver. I personally go with the revolver. If you guys have a Navy revolver or just this regular heavy revolver, it will do the trick. It's going to be 1 shot to the head, chest shots if they do not have armor plates. But just take your time, kind of work around the back of the buildings. I recommend not walking down the middle of the street against these guys as they will aimbot your top off and it will be GG's before you even get started, and you'll have to work all the way back from the beginning. As you can see, this guy starts to pack me up and takes half of my health, and then his buddy is just sniping me across the map. So I'm just going to duck into cover behind the building, pop some snacks, and start to work my way back to the front. As you can see, there is a little set of weapons on this box. All you have to do is run over, hit right on the D-pad, and you will acquire the weapons. The Marabunta Grande, I guess that is the gang. You're stealing all of their guns to use on the mission. And then you need to go over to these cars. Now, I can't stress this enough. I actually drove away from this the first time and thought I was done with the mission, but I was not after grabbing the guns. You need to grab another bag out of the back of one of the vehicles. It's usually in the one that I just grabbed it out of, but sometimes it spawns in others. Once you are done with that, you have the option to go to points B and C, but you are technically done. All you have to do is go and deliver these weapons to Vincent Lockup, and then you're going to just need to select those weapons as the weapons that you use on the mission. They give you the option to select it because you can do B and C and, you know, decide if you want to use A, B, or C's weapons, but me personally, I just do A because it is the fastest and the guns really don't matter. So you're going to pull up and you're just going to select weapons, and it will give you the option to select whatever weapons you want to use. For me, it's just going to be the Marabunta Gang's weapons as well as the same gear that I just picked up from them, and then you select confirm. Now, after you are done with that, you are basically done with the third setup mission for the Cluckin Bell. So we are all 1 step closer to making that big payday that comes with the final mission. We don't make any extra money with these mission passes at this point in time, so I'm not really worried about showing you guys any money. There's not really anything happening there, but now we are on to the next setup, which is going to be the hit and run setup for the Cluckin Bell missions. Now, as you can see, this is another one with targets A, B, and C. A is the closest. I recommend going to A. If you go to B and C, you are kind of just going into the farthest corners of the map. Once you get to A, they will spawn some enemies that you need to eliminate. You could use your rocket launcher and blow up the propane tank that you see is already blown up. And then you just need to shoot the voltage on the side of the wall to open the garage. After you've done that, there will be a getaway vehicle that you can steal, and you need to drive it all the way across the map to where your final point of the mission will be, so you can use it as a getaway vehicle. Now, a couple of things that you can do on the way to make things faster is drive down to this little train track that you see me going to, so that way the enemies that are chasing me can't physically spawn on me. Train tracks are very useful in GTA 5 to get away from police, to get away from the enemies that you see spawning on the map. That way they can't spawn and constantly shoot me. I already got plenty of bullet holes. I was tired of getting shot up. So all I had to do was go to the train track, and then it will actually take me all the way to the final spawn point where I can put my Mustang or whatever type of vehicle. This looks like an SS, I guess, into my garage and work on the next mission. Once you get to the garage, all you have to do is press right on the D-pad and you will be complete with this step of the setup mission. The final thing that you will have to do from this mission is just leave the area. So make sure you guys request your vehicle to leave the area. Don't actually get out of the vehicle and just run on foot. Otherwise, it will take a very long time for you to leave the area. For some reason, they make you drive like literally a mile away from the area to get the mission pass screen. And then once you're done with that, you guys are going to want to do the same thing we spoke on earlier in the video and fast travel back to your bunker. Once you get back to your bunker, you should be ready to do another ammunition sell, which will be another free $50,000. So we've already made 100K from just doing drop-offs at the ammunition, and we actually haven't even gotten around to selling our product yet. That's a good first step. Once you're done with that, fast travel back to your apartment and you're going to do your next setup for the Cluckin Bell. So for this one, you're going to head over to the Cluckin Bell outlet. They will mark some vans driving around the map. Now, you already stole a hacking device from the Terabyte earlier, so you're going to be using this hacking device to actually hack the van. Now, be careful. If you guys are not in a Duke of Death, the van will notice your location when you're trailing them and shoot you out of the vehicle. So I recommend using the Duke of Death. That way they can't shoot you out of the physical driver's seat and you can just kind of tail them for free and not really worry about dying. Now, as long as you are not crashing on your way to track these cartel vans, they do not physically run from you until you are hacking. They kind of just drive circles around the map, almost like the golf cart and the Dre missions. So just take your time, don't crash. You know, you will get there when you get there at this point in time. The Duke of Death is not very fast, but it is very useful on missions like this where people can shoot you. So as you can see here, all I'm going to do is locate this van and then get in within range and hold right on my D-pad. I'm already hacking it. Once it gets to about the 75% range on the hack, they will start to shoot at you, and then you can complete the hack and the enemies will just hop out of the van and try to kill you. You can either run them over at this point or get out and shoot them. I usually prefer to just run them over in my Duke of Death. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. I don't have to worry about the risk of dying or getting one-tapped. For some reason, enemies on this game just decide to one-tap you, and it is very frustrating and annoying. After you've done that, go and equip the Cluckin Bell bag. It will give you the overalls of Cluckin Bell, so that way you can sneak into the Cluckin Bell establishment at their warehouse. Once you get to the warehouse, you're going to go ahead and enter it. Now, this mission can be a little tricky. This is the first one that's actually going to be kind of tricky with Cluckin Bell. I physically made a mistake on this run, but I was still able to get it done pretty much with ease. Make sure you guys equip your silencer pistol and eliminate these first two enemies as soon as you enter the building. There's going to be some coke on that left-hand truck, but we don't need to worry about that. You can't even pick it up anyways. Your job here is actually to go up to all the trucks, select right on the D-pad, and you will be yanking the hoses to disable these vehicles. Now, this is important so they cannot chase you down, and they will not be able to utilize these trucks on farther missions. So once again, go up to the next one and sabotage the delivery trucks. Now, I physically don't shoot any of these enemies yet because I am not needed to, but you're going to have to eliminate this guy that is working on the truck, so that way you can work on the truck that he is physically working on and sabotaging it. So there's two more trucks. There's one right here on the left and one on my right. You don't need to eliminate anybody. Nobody's cones are actually going to see you at this point. But we are coming up on where I made a mistake, and hopefully you guys do not make the same mistake I did. Otherwise, I could have done this mission completely silent. Now, as you can see above the door to the left, there is a camera. I did not see that there was a camera there, and I needed to shoot that camera. But you guys are going to want to go ahead and shoot all these guys in order that I did. There's a guy that's facing the red thing to the left. You just need to shoot him first and then work on the guy to the right, and then ultimately the guy inside of the room. After you have done that, shoot the camera. Don't walk into the camera's radius. I don't even see it on my map. I wasn't even in its radius, to be honest, and it spotted me, so I'm kind of forced to go loud and take out all the witnesses. So at this point, I'm just going to walk in and wipe the CCTV footage because nobody comes in the room to kill me at this point in time, and then start to work my way through these enemies. They're going to start to kind of collapse on me inside of this room, and I am now on a time limit to eliminate these enemies. Now, this is important on why you need to essentially sneak up to this point, because if you had to destroy all of those trucks and disable them by hitting right on the D-pad, and on top of that, eliminate all these enemies before that timer is done, you simply won't be able to do it. So at least try to disable all the trucks before you get to this point, and then you will be fine. Now, these guys do have some nice shots on them, so be very careful. I almost die multiple times in this video when I'm trying to kill these guys. They are pretty annoying. Some of them have shotguns hiding in the rooms, and then some of them have SMG pistols. When you enter a room like this, don't do what I just did. You probably will die, just like I did. Usually pull out a shotgun if you hold left on your D-pad and down on your right stick. You move your right stick down into the left. You'll be able to equip a shotgun to help you eliminate people in those rooms. Don't just push them with a revolver. But I wasn't too worried about a death there because I hadn't died yet, but the clock is winding down, as you can see by that bottom right hand of the corner. I need to eliminate this last guy before the timer runs out and somebody is notified that I am here. After you've done that, all you need to do is drill the lockers. Now, there are many different locker locations on the map. There is no lockers in the CCTV room. They actually spawn in the back points where the double doors are. As you can see, there's 2 double doors in front of me. You can walk through these doors, and there's also some that spawn on the other side. The drilling part is pretty much self-explanatory. Since we are no longer in silent mode on this mission, we can just, hold down the right trigger. Normally, though, if you are doing it in silent mode, you would need to eliminate the enemies and then quietly drill. So you just kind of tap your trigger basically to make it not make loud noises, or just pay attention to make sure that no enemies are within that red circle on your mini map when you're drilling it. Now, as you drill these lockers, you are looking for a key card, but there is extra money that you can secure from these lockers. So after you've grabbed the key card, as you can see, the ones that are marked with red dots are actually drillable. You can either at this point decide if you want to leave, or it will pop up as a notification in the top left corner. You can return and actually steal some cash from the additional lockers. Now, it's not going to give you a buttload of money, like you're going to make an extra 100K, but you will make some extra cash, and that is our goal. So go around the lockers, take your time, drill all the extra lockers, maybe kick some music on. There's not really much to worry about when doing this because, there's no enemies left to kill us. If you were doing it in silent mode, drilling these extra lockers would be kind of hard because you're going to have to eliminate the actual cartel members to get to the extra lockers. But they give you some extra bags. As you can see, I'm just going to keep grabbing money bags out of these lockers and doing what I need to do to make this moonyan. Extra lockers, you are going to leave and head over to the flatbed truck, which you will be stealing. Now, this flatbed truck has some crates in the back that you are physically going to be hiding in on the final mission to sneak into their building. So you're just going to drive this all the way back to Vincent's lockup. The truck is very slow, so this will take some time, but just be patient. We're working our way to the final setup mission, and we are fully done with that. So now we can head back over to the V and work on the actual Cluckin Bell mission, where we will bake that big paycheck that we have been working for this entire time. So as you can see, it's going to be the scene of the crime. So all we're doing now is we are now hiding in those boxes that we just stole on that truck, and we jumped on the train. And they are going to deliver us to their home base. Well, we will work our way through the building and steal all the cocaine that they are hiding in the boxes. So we can do this 2 ways here. Now, we can do it silently, or we can go loud and just rocket launcher everybody and work our way through the building. The first objective that we need to do is go to the coke storage area. So we have the weapons that we actually stole in the setup mission, as well as the armor vest. So everybody thinks that we are part of the Marabunta Grande. So they think we are a gang member. They don't understand who we actually are. So equip your silence pistol and slowly work your way through the enemies. Eventually, you probably will get caught. There is some areas that is just kind of unavoidable, but it does seal it off with a door to the left. So if you get caught in this room, it physically won't end your ability to fully be silent. As you can see, this guy's gonna see me, but I kill him almost instantly and nobody is notified. Now, there is nothing else to do in this room. If you guys want to loot the bodies, feel free to loot those bodies. Sometimes they drop cash. After you've eliminated everybody, though, go over and shoot the voltage on the left-hand side of the door, which will open the shutter door. Now, in this hallway, this is usually where I kind of blow being silent, because it's pretty impossible to kill all these guys without being noticed, but it doesn't hurt to try. I usually eliminate this guy in the far left and then eliminate the 2 guys on the right as fast as possible, almost simultaneously. We're able to kill 2 pretty quickly, but then this guy kind of walks down the hallway, and every time you kill him, you seem to get noticed by this guy on the left, who just kind of runs out because he sees the dead body. So I still haven't figured out how to beat that part. If you guys have done it yourself and you know how to do it, please let me know in the comment section so I can add that to future videos and help other people complete this mission silently. But at this point, you guys might as well just put away the silenced pistol and pull out the compact rifle and just start going to town, because there's not really being any silent, like, sneaky stuff at this point. Just shoot your way to the coke storage area and work your way through this mission. Now, all you need to do is push your way towards that doorway at the end of the hall after you eliminate the enemies, and it's gonna ask you to put a key in the keypad. You can collect some ammo, the extra cash that falls on the dead bodies, but take your time getting up to this doorway, because this guy does have a shotgun and he will blast you and make you take 10 years to finish this mission. So, you know, get your kills and then work your way to the doorway and insert the key card. Once you insert the key card, the game will put you through a little short cutscene, and you will instantly go down to the basement where all the cocaine is that you need to collect to complete the mission. So once you go down here, as you can see on the minimap, there is 3 enemies. 2 of them are scientists and 1 of them has a gun. Make sure you focus on the guy with the gun so you don't die. That's quite literally the only answer for pushing down here. My auto locked on the guy that didn't have a gun, so I had to, like, low-key almost sell myself here, but we were able to knock it down and then just collect all the cocaine off the buildings. Collecting the cocaine is the same way it's always been, bro. All you're gonna do is go up and press right on the D-pad, spam X, and jam out to your music and collect that cocaine. That pure cocaína, man. All right, so now that you have collected your cocaine, you're ready to return back to the facility. Now, remember, there is still enemies here, so definitely take your time. My dumb ass walked the wrong way coming out that thing, so we got to turn back around and go to the next mark on the map. Now, there is tons of enemies in here, so if you push in very fast, you more than likely will die. Make sure you take your time and eliminate everybody that you need to eliminate. As you can see on the map, though, behind me is going to be the next area that I need to enter. All you need to do is go up and insert your key card, and the door will open and you'll be able to go inside. After inserting the key card, you hit right on the D-pad to lift up the gate, and we're going to work this room. So this room has 4 crates all around it, as you can see on the mini map in the bottom left corner. Now, the crates on the right side, they do actually have a crowbar. If you somehow do not have a crowbar, make sure you go and grab the crowbar so you can open up the crates. Like I said, though, there is 4 total, so not all of them will have cocaine in it, but once you find the cocaine, you will be able to complete this part of the mission. Just keep going around, working all the crates with that crowbar. As you can see, I pick up a big bag of cocaine there. Now we technically only need 1 more bag to fill up our duffel bag. There is money on the floor, so make sure you grab all that munion on the floor. I did miss some back on the other side, but just keep looting the crates. Do what it's telling you to do. There is 4 total, like I said. So once you get that second bag of cocaine, you actually don't need to open the last crate, but for some reason the game like still allows you to. So I don't know why. I'm just like a perfectionist. I always go and loot it. After you loot the last crate, though, go ahead and work your way out of the building onto the next step. You need to exit the storage area, which is back where you came in. So once you get to the factory floor, this is going to be one of the harder parts of the mission. You need to work your way to the office. So there's actually a safe in the office that we're going to be trying to break into now. So just take your time, work your way through this next part. There is lots of enemies that you need to eliminate on your way there. Now, a couple of things to note on this mission while you're working through this part is the locations of the computers. Now, I tried to shoot those doors, but I wasn't able to shoot the doors open. I wanted to see if I could, like, you know, finesse my way through, but that's just not the case. So I like playing in first person on this specific point in the mission, just because this little corridor that I'm standing in can be hard to see where your player is actually aiming. If you guys don't try to use first person, then don't really worry about it, but I like playing first person on certain points in the missions. I tried to hop over this little like flat area in front of me. I don't know what that machine would be called, but I guess it's like a cleaning machine of some sort for the chickens that are hanging from the rooftop. But, you know, it is what it is. It wouldn't let me hop over, so you just got to go around and work your way to the office. There's going to be some enemies on the right and the left, and then you need to shoot your way into the office door. Just be super careful coming around this corner, make sure nobody pops you, and you have to respawn all the way back to the jump. He almost caught me reloading. That was a little scary there. But after that, you're just gonna go up to the door, shoot the lock on the door, and then you will officially be in the office. Now I'm getting shot here, so I gotta be really careful when I get in here. But once you're in, it's gonna give you the option to hack the computer. Now, once you are hacking the computer, you will start healing as well as not getting shot. But once you get out of that hack, make sure you're careful and you have eliminated all the enemies because they will be pushing you. Now, after you've hacked the computer, it is going to give you a hacking device. So this hacking device is going to be used to find the computers on the floor that have the codes in them. So each computer will have a different code number that pops up on the hacking device, so you can hack the safe that is in the office. So just slowly work your way around. As you can see, it goes from blue to green whenever you get to a computer device, and if there is nothing around, it will be red. You can simply just, you know, kind of hold the device and walk around. It's going to be these computers that you see around the room though. So this is actually my first run on the Cluckin Bell missions. My boy Breeze was helping me do it, so he taught me kind of how to do it on the fly. But all you have to do is walk up to these computers and they will give you a code. So as you can see, when I have the hacking device out, it goes from red to blue and then ultimately green when I'm actually at the device. And in the bottom left corner, it says safe code data 1 of 3, and it will spawn 2 more enemies. After you eliminate those enemies, you can move to the next computer. As you can see, they're just kind of all around. There's one up here to the front left. I'm just going to take my hacking device all the way over to the computer and grab the next code. So that's going to be safe code data 2 out of 3. Now, as you can see, there is 2 more computers to choose from. It can be either. So it's either going to be the computer to the right in that hallway or over here to the left. For this specific run, I went to this computer first, had to worry about this guy down the hall, was able to eliminate him and then go to the computer, pull out the hacking device, and that was not the computer that we used on this specific run. So we're going to go back to the computer on the hallway in the right around the corner after I eliminate this guy that like just spawned out of nowhere for me running to that computer. So go up to the computer, it will give you the final slot, and then you just need to return to the office and steal the cash from the safe. Now, as you hold up your hacking device, it actually has a code on it that's going to tell you what you need to input when you get to the room. If you guys are weak, make sure you take some snacks to get yourself back to full health as well. I reminded myself here to take some snacks, and then I'm going to pull out my hacking device and figure out what the code is for the safe in the room. So after you've worked your way to the safe, you can now enter your code. If you press X, it will enter the current code that you have selected through the scroll menus. If you don't know your code, make sure you just pull out your left bumper and access your hacking device, and it will tell you the code that you need to implement into the safe. Make sure you pay attention to those numbers, and then once you get them correct, go ahead and press X to enter the code, and you'll be able to move on to the next point of the mission after stealing all the cash from this safe. That is the whole goal and point of breaking into this is, you know, just get this little bag of cash and get on moving to the next thing. After you do that, it's going to spawn all types of enemies, so you're going to have to escape the Cluckin Bell factory. Now, don't worry, we did stash a vehicle outside to the right that we need to get to. So to do that, we just need to shoot the voltage and take our time. We're probably going to have to shoot our way to the vehicle at this point in time. Otherwise, we will die. As you can see, there is cops everywhere, enemies everywhere, police everywhere. This is a scary situation to be in with no body shield and not full health. So just take your time, destroy the enemies, and work your way to the yellow dot on the map, which is going to be around the corner and to the right. Eliminated all the enemies, go over to the garage and press right on the D-pad to enter the vehicle. Now, something I said earlier in the video, if you guys don't remember, utilizing the train tracks is the best way to escape from cops and spawned enemies on this game. In this particular run, I'm going to show you what to do if you mess up. I actually messed up and got my car stuck on like a set of pipes that spawns right here to the left. I guess I'm just a bot, bro. I don't know how I possibly hit that and got my car stuck, but all the pipes rolled down and literally stuck my car in this little corridor. So I was forced to get out and go steal a vehicle. I've messed up plenty of missions on GTA 5 though, and there's always a second option. So if you guys somehow get stuck, make sure to just break across the street here, grab a vehicle, and work your way back to the train track. And watch out for the helicopters. Those helicopters are popping me right now, so I definitely need to escape and get my way to this train track. As you can see, I'm just going to cut back, I'm still getting knocked over, but I eventually can make it to the train track, and I am able to lose the 4-star threat. Now, losing 5-star, 4-star, and 3-star threats can be super frustrating in this game, guys. Make sure you are using the train tracks like you see here, or going up mountains where police officers won't spawn, because if you continue to just drive on the road, the cops will actually just spawn in front of you. As you can see, the cops are still spawning on the road. They're not able to spawn in front of me on the train tracks. I don't know how I got spotted there. It was kind of a bug, but I was able to lose at least 1 star there. So I'm going to continue to just break through the off-road path. As you can see, there is no cops on me right now. I do end up running into some police because I actually go back to the road here, but I'm kind of feeling pretty safe. I see this mountain coming up, so I know I'm just going to work my way to the mountain and eventually lose all the police on that mountain. If you guys do not have a car that is off-road capable, I recommend, you know, grabbing like a Duke of Death or some sort of motorcycle for missions that you know you're going to be a 4 and 5-star threat at the end of it. I should have had my Duke of Death kind of like somewhere near or requested it when I needed to escape, but I didn't have that. I was able to just, you know, steal a Jeep and work my way back and finish the mission. As you can see, I'm delivering the loot to Vincent's lockup, which is the final step of the Cluck mission. There's a dude hanging out over there in a suit ready for all the stuff that we just stole. He's congratulating us on our excellent work. We go through a little bit of a cutscene, and then it appears mission passed. We just made $500,000, and we're also going to get a little bit of a bonus because it is the first time completing it. As you can see in the top right corner, we get $250,000 for finishing the Cluckin Bell missions, which sets us at quite a bit of money in our bank account. We're going to be sitting at just over $1.6 million working onto our next set of missions. So I would call that a massive success with the Cluckin Bell missions. Shout out to everybody that has made it this far in this video. If you guys enjoyed the video so far, make sure to subscribe and drop a like. It is completely free to support the channel. This is my first ever GTA channel. After you're done with that, though, you're going to head back to your Chumash bunker, and it is time to do a sell mission in the Chumash bunker. To do this, you need to go to your laptop, press X, click to enter, and it will tell you to sell stock. So we can sell to either Blaine County or Los Santos. As you can see, Los Santos is a ton more money. We definitely want to do that. We obviously, you know, we aren't trying to make 129,000 or 126,000 if we can make 189,000. Now, because I did not buy a second shed of shipments, it only gave me 1 delivery vehicle. This is one thing to note. If you guys are doing this by yourself like I am, make sure to not have bought supplies twice, because if you buy supplies twice, you will have to deliver to 10 different checkpoints through 2 different vehicles. You have to physically go drop off all this stuff, and then you're going to have to go back and grab a second vehicle and then deliver all 5 points. And on top of that, if you're in an online lobby, good luck, GG's. That's going to be tough. People are going to be trying to be toxic and destroy you. Now, one thing to note on these missions, you will be getting chased for the most part. Don't really worry about like stopping and shooting them or anything. You will lose them just generally off the base of the game and like the routes that it takes you. As you can see, they're having me drop this one under the bridge for my 4th one. And then the very last one is over on the boat docks, and I am complete and I made a little back. Now I just need to leave the area. So all I got to do is request my vehicle and drive out of the area. Do not run out of the area. Always request your vehicle and then drive out. Now we just added a little $189,000 to our bank account. We are closing in on that 2 milli Willie. That 2 million is going to be our first big mark of the video. Now we need to fast travel all the way back to our bunker so we can buy more supplies and let that work while we are completing our missions. So to buy supplies, once again, you're just going to access your laptop, click to enter, and then it will say resupply on the top of it. Now, don't really worry about the research section. The only thing you want to do in this laptop is just buy supplies. Now, you guys can steal the supplies if you don't feel like spending $75,000, but for me, time is money, and I don't want to put that much effort into the game yet when it comes to just, I can just spend 75 grand. There's no point in stealing the supplies. Now, after that, my truck was ready to deliver, so you know I'm gonna go make that quick extra $50,000. So now we just made $230,000 of profit out of our Chumash bunker. We got 189,000, and then we just got 50,000 for delivering the other set of leftover supplies from creating our goods. Make sure you guys are depositing your money after you secure it, so that way people cannot kill you and essentially take your money and rob you. Now it is time to start the first dose missions with the contact Ron Jakowski. Now, Ron will be introducing you to somebody that is going to be a major part of this video, and I will say he is probably the most boring, annoying, frustrating missions in the game, but they're worth the money, so we do them. Now, to fly over there, we are going to be using a VIP vehicle. The Super Valido is $10,000. So do your best to not crash your helicopter. Your Super Valido is super valuable. You don't want to be buying this thing every time you fly somewhere. So make sure if you don't know how to fly a helicopter, you take the time, learn how to land it, and do your best to not crash it. Otherwise, you'll be burning tons and tons and tons of cash. If we end up having to buy this, 10, 15, 20 times, we have now wasted a Chumash bunker run on just buying the helicopter to fly around the map. So go ahead and copy your helicopter though, and we are going to work our way to the first dose mission with Dax. Now this first dose mission, basically what happens is you're going to go in this building here, and they stole some drugs from some people they should not have stolen them from to basically throw this party and start their business, and they are going to be in a fight with a biker gang. So after running over to the Liquor Ace department, you're going to enter inside, and it will throw you into the first dose 1 cutscene mission. Now this cutscene is pretty long, and it is by far the most annoying person in the game. So good luck and enjoy, because I'll tell you what, I did not enjoy that. But now we are going to be taking out the remaining Lost MC, as the Lost MC have pulled up to try to get their goods back since we stole them from them. And Dax has basically made you his errand boy on this mission, and you're going to be driving him around the world as we help him. After you finish killing all of the Lost MC that are pulling up to get their stolen goods back, you need to help Dax recover his stolen journey, because the Lost MC were pissed off, so they pulled up and took his RV. This mission is not the funnest, as this area where the RV is at is actually heavily guarded by guards. I died a few times trying to get to the RV, but be patient and go secure yourself the RV. Now the RV is also not very fun because you will be getting chased constantly. If there is a train track anywhere that you can find one, make sure to utilize the train tracks after you pick up Dax from Liquor Ace. So you're going to go pick up Dax, and he is going to have you take it to where your home base will be for the quote-unquote freak show that we are setting up with the first dose missions. This is basically a setup for first dose, like what we have with Cluckin Bell. Your goal here is to complete all of these missions so that you can have an acid shop, which will make you another passive income. Every time you're running around the map, you will basically have like a Chumash bunker where you pull up to your acid shop and you have some deliveries to do, and you can make some extra cash. So they take you over here to where the Fooligan missions will be, to where your Dax missions will be, and essentially the freak shop. After completing this mission, you will secure a little $15,000 to $20,000 for all these missions. For this one specifically, we got $20K, and we unlocked the new contact Dax. So there are 6 total missions. We have $73,000 in our bank account. We're going to make sure we depot that because I forgot to do it last time. And then we're going to start first dose 2. So for first dose 2, all we need to do is work our way over to the terminal. I jump cut it so you guys didn't have to worry about watching me drive over there, but you're going to drive over to the terminal and steal one of the big truck cabs, so that way you can secure some supplies for the freak shop. After you've topped in the cab, it will tell you to collect the party supplies. All you're gonna have to do is just back the truck up to the party supplies, and you will be able to drive it all the way back to the freak shop. Take your time backing it up, as it is very easy to mess up and essentially knock it out of place or knock it over, and you will fail the mission and have to restart. But once you've secured the supplies, it's pretty self-explanatory from here. Just deliver the party supplies to the freak shop, but they will blow up the party supplies on the way, and you will be forced to abandon it because the people that you just stole those from are not too happy, and they are on motorcycles, and we are in a massive trucker 18-wheeler, and it's not the best escape vehicle. So don't worry though, that is a part of the mission when they destroy it. Now you will have to go to the Lost MC clubhouse and just start spamming rockets. Otherwise, you will probably die because there is tons and tons and tons of people in this tiny little area. Now, once again, if you guys need to heal, you can either take cover as I just did and pop your heals, or you can hold left bumper while ADS'd and hit up on the D-pad to pop your heals. Now, another pro tip in this game that my boy taught me is if you tap your left trigger and right trigger essentially at the same time, you will physically shoot a bullet before they can hit you and you will go back into cover. Now, after you've eliminated all of the enemies, you are going to enter the safe house where you will take a photo of the plans on the wall and send it back to the homies at the freak shop, and then you will move to the next step of the mission. All you gotta do to take a photo is just pull out your phone, click X on the plans, and then click send photo to DAC, which will be X again, and then run back outside and hop back in the whip. After that, you're going to be stealing the extra leftover weed in the facility. You just got to go over right on the D-pad and spam X as usual for stealing weed. Now, these DAX missions are time consuming, but this one isn't quite as bad. So definitely enjoy it a little bit. While you don't have many cutscenes, you also don't have a character getting high and you have to survive a trip, quote unquote. So we'll take it. We'll take it. These missions are super easy, self-explanatory. Then you just got to deliver that loot back to the freak shop and you are done with this dose of the mission. As you can see, mission passed, we end up getting 10 bands for that, so that adds up over time. We've already made 30k from these missions combined, and we are sitting at level 15 with $62,000 in our card. So make sure you guys depot that to the bank and then start your next first dose. So this one is first dose 3, the fatal incursion. We got to hop in our whip and go all the way over to Stab City. That's another thing that kind of annoys me a lot with these missions, man, is everything feels like it is across the planet. Like, I literally just have to travel to Narnia and back. Now, this mission is self-explanatory. You need to destroy everything that is the lost property. Killing enemies, blowing up vehicles, even those boxes that you see spawn on the ground are the most important part of this mission. As you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, there is a thing that says property, and once that meter is filled up, you are essentially done with this mission. So feel free to use the rocket launcher, use your hand bombs, whatever they're called, the little mines that you can throw and blow up with right on the D-pad to destroy everything around. As you can see, the launcher is just gonna kind of lock on everything that you need to blow up. Focus on the motorcycles, the cars, the giant barrels. Try not to die because it'll make it take forever. As you can see, I'm just gonna keep destroying all the vehicles. I'm basically done at this point with the property, so I'm gonna start being careful here. Make sure I take cover, pop that snacks, use my armor. If you guys don't know, you can also pop snacks by holding left on the bumper and then spamming up on the D-pad. Now, also, make sure you are focused on destroying the vehicles, because if you're just killing enemies, as you saw that vehicle on the minimap, they just keep respawning and flooding their way in. I mean, it's also a good thing that they're respawning because they're giving you more vehicles to destroy. But outside of that, you really don't need to do much else besides just wrap around the edge of the map, destroy the vehicles as they come around, and then just slowly work your way and make sure that you do not die. Once you've killed the last person and destroyed the last vehicle, it will entice you to go to the next step. And the next step for this mission is going to be heading over to Miller's Fishery. Miller's Fishery is actually where we stole the RV earlier. We've been here, done that before. This area is never fun. Anytime the game has you come here, you are going to be in for a not so fun experience. As you can see, we are getting chased on our way in. The goal here is to steal 10 bags of meth. Now, these meth bags will spawn at random points. They're usually, for the most part, in the same spot if you do this mission once or twice, so you'll kind of get the gist of where they all spawn. There's actually 2 that are up in front of me, so I'm just going to take my time, eliminate the enemies, use my rocket launcher, use my revolver, do my best to not die here so I don't waste any lives and I don't add any unneeded time to this mission. But the meth is by far the hardest mission of all the doses, in my opinion. I just don't like the amount of time that it takes. So kill the enemies and then start to work your way to where I'm aiming. As you can see on the map, there's 2 green arrows, so there is 2 bags of meth that we can steal. I'm getting popped on my way up, but it's okay. We can take cover behind the van anytime we want. And then there's just 1 more bag that we got to grab before we move to the next spot, which will actually be in front of us inside of the Miller's Brewery. So after you kill these guys, you're going to run over to that Miller's Lab shop and go inside the back door. There's a back door on the left. You'll see it's like a little blue ring for the doorway. Just run over there, hit right on the D-pad to enter, and there's going to be some people in the basement that we have to kill and then steal the meth as well. There's not really any ways to get around this point. Just be careful. He's going to come around the corner with a crazy wrench and try to beat you up, but he won't kill you if you are ready for it. And then just pop like 1 or 2 snacks before you swing the next guy so you don't die. Just make sure you're in the green for your health bar, because he will shoot you when you come around the corner. As you saw, he just popped the crap out of me, and now I need to heal up again. I actually don't have any armor plates, which kind of sucks, and I'm out of snacks, so we need to make sure we secure some snacks after this mission. I'm over here smoking a cigarette trying to get my health back. That is one thing that I always seem to make errors with. Make sure you guys are buying snacks in between missions. If you happen to run out of them, pay attention to that. Grab some snacks before you go into your next mission to keep yourself going through the missions easily. Now, the last couple spots for the meth is going to be in this empty boathouse, which is actually to the left of the area that we were just in, but I ended up dying the moment I walked out the door because there was a guy with a shotgun. So I respawned at the front, and then I was able to just work my way in, grab the meth bag, kill the guy in the middle, and then there will be a meth bag right behind him. After that, you guys just need to escape the area by going to the dodo bird. So there's going to be a dodo bird that actually spawns on the boat dock. You just got to run over, jump in the water, and he will animate so you can get in the dodo bird. Now, be very careful when flying this dodo bird. It is so easy to crash. They don't allow you to go super high in the sky with it. You want to stay moderately low, and then you have to deliver the dodo bird all the way to the freak shop, which is actually kind of hard to do. Also, pay attention to the bottom right corner of your screen, the dodo health. You do not want to blow this vehicle up. You guys need this at the freak shop. So be very, very, very careful flying this dodo bird back. Now, on the essence of being careful, at this point, as you can see, there's a yellow marker on the map. It wants me to land under those bridges, but I personally took a very bad angle, so I'm going to land over just past the bridge and then turn the vehicle around. You'll see how I slowly maneuver this with the dodo bird. You just need to take your time, get a decent landing, and then you're able to readjust yourself and just work your way back if you happen to overshoot it. I usually don't always get that one perfectly because I'm too afraid that I'm going to just blow up the dodo bird and say GG's to the mission and have to restart. So all I do is just turn the dodo bird around and then slowly edge my way. I don't know how this wing doesn't hit the bottom of the bridge here, but hey, we're working. I almost just scraped it so bad, but see, you can just turn it on the land and then work it back into the water. And as you work your way back into the water, you will hit the final checkpoint, which completes the mission, and you can go to the next mission. Now, by far, that was the most stressful mission, I'd say, as far as gunfights go. But we did earn 20K for that, so now we have made $50,000 so far from these missions, which isn't too bad. Make sure you guys are depositing your money whenever you are done. Just go to your internet and deposit in the bank. And then, like I said, I was out of snacks. If you guys are needing any snacks, all you have to do is go to the shops at the gas station and you can buy snacks. There's also places on the map where you can get free snacks, but I'm not gonna lie, bro, it costs like 30 bucks to get snacks, so it's not really that deep. You're still gonna have $2 million in your bank account. So after you get some snacks, punch some people, and head back over to complete your DAX missions. Make sure you guys aren't blowing up your heli. As you can see, I landed the heli in a safe spot so I can still use it. And we are on to First Dose 4. Now in First Dose 4, they show up and put you through a super long cutscene, once again screaming badonka-donk at you. And they happen to bring you some beer. Now, this was not normal beer. They gave you acid in the beer. So now your character is tripping, riding a motorcycle. And this mission is basically Mario Kart. So for those that get dizzy, I recommend asking your little brother, your mom, your dad, someone to play this mission for you, because this is a funky mission. This is by far my least favorite of the DAX missions, when they act like your character is high and just make your screen blurry. Now they had me riding a motorcycle on the ocean, which, you know, hey, whoever did this was definitely high, because how do you think of your character dressed like a monkey wearing a monkey face mask on a motorcycle going through space? Like, this is just the most confusing mission on the planet. But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna get it done. We go through the classic tunnel phase, as they would call it, and then we're gonna turn into Mario Kart with a crown. It just kind of zooms you around, and then you become a hunter shooting rabbits. and the mission ultimately fails with you coming out of the sky in your boxers. That basically literally is the mission. There's not much going on with this one. This one didn't make much sense. You just survive your trip essentially, and that is a mission passed. That one was just a celebratory mission, and we got paid 14 grand for it, so we really can't complain about it. That's kind of a mission that's impossible to fail per se. So after you get all that money in your bank account, once again, make sure you deposit it and then head back over for your next first dose mission, which is going to be First Dose 5. Now for First Dose 5, just request your vehicle and drive on over to the hippie camp. Now for this specific one, I used my Duke of Death because I wanted to worry about, like, if I had to escape or something, being out in the desert and getting chased down. For this mission, you do have a ton of help from your friends. They will help kill people as you're moving around. I'm not quite sure what those girls are doing, but hey, it is what it is. They're just kind of waltzing into battle. So the goals of this mission, as you can see on the map, there is 4 acid labs, and you are trying to destroy their lab equipment because they are your arch nemesis. You need to stop their production so they quit stealing your money. Now, you guys can destroy these labs with rockets, or you can throw a mine in there, blow it up with right in the D-pad, or shoot it, and that will destroy the lab. There's 4 total labs in the bottom right corner. It'll tell you when you have been destroying the equipment and if it worked. As you can see, I'm at 3 out of 4, so the meter is basically full, but I'm getting gunned down, so I got to take my time here and eliminate all of these enemies that are trying to keep me from destroying their equipment. So ultimately, just keep working your way around, use your rocket launcher, try not to blow yourself up. I almost blew myself up with that rocket, and work your way to destroying the equipment. Once you destroy the equipment, it is going to have a vehicle spawn here. Make sure that vehicle doesn't kill you. Just go ahead and hop in your Duke of Death for a second and wait for it to start on the next step. Now, the next step is just going to be hopping in one of the vans. There's that van in the middle right there, and it will have a GPS that gives you some locations for you to move on to for the next spot. So drive over, hop in that van, and it will give you some delivery vans that you need to destroy. Destroying these delivery vans is super easy. Just drive over to them and pull out your rocket launcher and shoot the delivery van. For some reason, my rocket launcher wanted to auto lock on everything besides the delivery van. If you have that issue, just shoot instantly and it will shoot whatever is in front of you before it actually locks in on something else. So destroy that delivery van. Don't really worry about the guys chasing you. Just go ahead and start to work onto the next point on the map. You can easily just pull out your touchpad, zoom out, and mark it to make it easier for you to drive to, and just avoid the crazy dune buggies chasing you down. Once you get there, go ahead and hop out and do a whole lot of the same story. There's going to be random cars that pull up, so just be careful. Make sure to eliminate them before they destroy you so you can continue to shoot the van with your rocket. As you can see here, I'm just kind of taking my time working my rocket launcher. The police are on the way, but they actually don't chase me down, and I'm able to just destroy the vans and work to their final destination. Now, the final destination is the Altruist Camp. For the Altruist Camp, this one is one that you definitely want to take your time. After eliminating the front 2 enemies, you're going to want to pull out your rocket launcher and work your way up to the tower. Once you get to the tower, just pull out your launcher and shoot one in there to eliminate the enemy that's going to be holding the watchtower, and then start to work your way through the Altruist Camp and destroy the delivery vans. Make sure you guys are popping your snacks, buying ammunition, buying grenades, all of that good stuff, because there is going to be tons of stuff that spawns in on this period of the map. There's a heli, there's 3 vans that you have to destroy. It's a lot of things to blow up, to say the least. So have all your explosives ready to go and then start to work your way through the camp. As you destroy the vehicles, there will be more stuff spawning around, and it is a very, very, very tight corner to push in. Everyone's just kind of going to be holding you down as you start to push in. So take your time, maybe use your pistol if you need to, as I'm using here, and work your way around the left side. I have never gone to the right, but to the left is that delivery van and that back cable, so I just always usually go straight left and then work my way around. There is a guy that spawns up on the water tower that has a sniper. Make sure to take care of him so he won't eliminate you before you can actually destroy any of the delivery vans. Now, I have had a blast recording this video, man. If you guys enjoyed it up to this point and you have not subscribed yet, bro, please hit that subscribe button and drop your boy a like, man. It is completely free. This is my first ever GTA YouTube video. I'm actually a 2K YouTuber trying to get into GTA, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have making this video. It took me about 2 weeks to do all this gameplay and make the video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's been as much fun watching it as it was recording it. Super excited for GTA 6. They actually did do the earnings call to let us know that GTA 6 is on pace for fall, so hopefully we get it at the end of October, as they always release GTAs. I'm super excited for that. If we do, there will be tons and tons and tons of videos going out on this channel, so you guys do not want to miss that. Make sure you guys subscribe, and we will continue to roll on though. As you see there though, I just kept working to the left and destroyed the delivery van, and then there's just going to be kind of a wide open area here with some enemies up to the left and up to the right. Got to take your time, wait for this guy to peek. A lot of the enemies just kind of like stay in cover the entire time, and it's very, very annoying. But you're able to shoot your rocket from essentially cover there, and then it's going to spawn a Valkyrie. Now, the Valkyrie is an aimbot chopper, so be careful. They will shred you if you're not getting your rockets off fast enough. Try to catch it before it gets over and can contest you, and shoot your rocket quickly. As you can see, it literally took half my health in a half a second. So we fast that mission though. We're done with the Altruist camp. We are done with that dose mission, and we made $20,000 with very little time spent. So now we got 70K in our little bank account. We're ready to roll on to the next mission. Now, to roll on to the next mission, make sure you guys fast travel all the way back to the Freak Shop by using your preferences on hitting your touchpad and your controller, and we are on to First Dose 6. First Dose 6 is going to be off the rails. This is the train mission where the train falls off the rails. If you have ever watched any of the First Dose missions, this one can get interesting real quick. At first, you're going to want to jump in your car and head over to the Humane Labs. Now, at the Humane Labs, they spawn tons and tons and tons of enemies, so be prepared to fight everything that moves. You in your Pennywise mask are going to have to put in some work up in this area. I died a few times trying to get in, but once you eliminate some enemies, you should be able to just run straight in and use the keypad to unlock the door. Hacking the keypad is simple. All you got to do is hit right on the D-pad, and you will be put into a cutscene, and it will thrust you into the building. After you're inside, all you need to do is work your way to the loading bay. So take your time, eliminate all the enemies, and you will eventually find yourself at the loading bay. All these enemies are pretty easy in here. They don't have any armor, so you're able to just kind of one-shot them with the heavy pistol, or you could use your rocket launcher if you want. But be careful as you're working your way into the loading bay. They do spawn enemies behind you as you kill people. As you saw, I started getting shot in the back there, so I actually had to push up, and he is still shooting me in the back, so I need to deal with him before I fully work on to the next part of the loading bay. After you've eliminated all the enemies, it will ask you to search the loading bay for intel. It's very simple. All you got to do is walk up, and there will be some documents on the wall, and you just need to snap a couple of photos of the Humane Labs inventory manifest and send them over to Dax. To do that, all you got to do is pull out your phone, snap a picture, and then press X to send the photo to Dax. After you do that, you will be able to search the loading bay to collect the chemicals. The chemicals will spawn in the crates, just like the cocaine from back when we did the Cluckin Bell missions, if you remember that. There is going to be a random wrench on the ground or crowbar if you need it to open any crates, but we do have a crowbar already, so we are chilling. We're just going to keep working through all these crates and collecting the chemicals that we need. The crates are randomly spawning around. If you look at your mini map, they will show you, and then you can see it tells me that I collected a bottle, and after I've collected all 5, it will be my job to escape. To escape, all I need to do is just work my way back to my vehicle, and then I have to reach the switching station before the train gets there. So be very careful getting back to your vehicle. I recommend parking your vehicle a hell of a lot closer to where than when I did it. I parked mine pretty far. I actually didn't realize where I had to enter in, but if you just park your vehicle right in front of that entrance to the left right there, you will be okay. That way you don't have to run so far away. But after you collect your vehicle, go ahead and speed on over to the next step of the mission, which is going to be the switching station for the train. In the bottom right corner, it'll let you know how long you have till the train gets to you. So you just need to beat that marker before it hits to you and get to the switching station. The switching station is super easy though. All you gotta do inside is interact with the lever, and then you will have completed switching the train onto the different tracks. And it will put you through a nice little cutscene. You get to see your glorious clown face mask. I think that thing is fire, I'm not gonna lie. And then you just need to eliminate some enemies and hop back in your vehicle. Once you hop back in the vehicle, you'll head over and you need to steal the tool bag, which has a cutting saw in it. After you've got your cutting saw, you're going to head over to the train crash site. Now, at the train crash site, this is where it gets kind of hectic. Work your way through the enemies by running people over, and make sure you handle the helis fairly quick. The helis will destroy you fast, and it can make your game not as fun. They also have rocket launcher deniers, so sometimes you can miss even though you're locked on. Alright, so if you guys direct your attention to the map, there's enemies and then there is white dots. Those white dots are going to be the red crates that we actually physically need to push up to and loot. And every time we are in a crate, there will be new enemies that spawn for us actually looting the crate. This is why we stole that chainsaw, so we can search the train crash for the chemicals. There is 5 total chemicals that we have to collect. Whenever you open one, it will actually appear as so and let you know that you need to collect it. There is one on each side, and then it will be spawning a helicopter. The helicopter, you do need to destroy it, but usually you have time to get both the crates off before the helicopter appears. So just instantly switch to the other side, try to get to the crate, and after that, then you can pull out your launcher and destroy the helicopter that is pushing you, and then move on to the next set of crates. As you can see, this helicopter, you can start to lock on it from pretty far away. I'm just going to kind of wait till he gets closer so I know I get a guaranteed shot on him, and then start to work myself to the next crates. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of enemies spawning, so make sure you stay in cover, as these helicopters will instantly shred you. I should have worked faster to the next crate at this point in time, but I didn't want to die, so I just took cover real quick, popped some health packs, and then I'm going to start to work the enemies that are chasing me with my rocket launcher. As you can see, not only did it spawn a helicopter, but it spawns like 50 soldiers behind you. After you have eliminated them, though, you can start to work to the next set of crates. There is 4 total sets of crates. There's 2 crates in groups. As you can see, we got 1 here and then 2 more along the way. We're just going to keep running down here and trying to collect the chemicals inside of these red crates using our buzzsaw that we just found at that other site. The cops will not shoot you while you're in the crate, but once you are out of it, they can shoot you. Once you're in the animation, though, you are fine. So keep that in mind when trying to loot these crates, and they will pinch you. As you can see, they continue to just push me over and over and over again and get me stuck in this crate. But I'm just going to take my time, be patient, wait for them to push me, get my kills, and then I will work the next crate. First, I need to destroy the helis, though. Those helis will incinerate you, so stay locked in on destroying those. Then, of course, after that, you can kill the enemies that are on foot with your pistol and then loot your crates. But I'm not able to pick up any other enemies right here, so I'm just going to back all the way up and then slowly loot this crate to try to find some more chemicals. As you can see, I'm able to find another chemical in this crate. Just going to go ahead and collect this and start to work to the next period of the mission where the next set of crates are lined up, and it will continue to spawn more and more and more enemies. I'm going to try to sprint these down, though, just to make it easy. These vehicles tend to eat a lot of rockets, so you want to try to hurry through this part because they will just continue to spawn over and over and over again. Just continue to eliminate the enemies and loot through your crates. Then eventually you will get to the last set of crates for this task specifically. Just like I said, continue to loot the crates. This cops, I'm not too worried about him shooting me while I'm in the physical saw animation. He will literally run away from me. And of course, they put the last chemical in the very last crate. So take your time, loot through all the crates. And then after you are finishing searching the train crash for the chemicals, now your next task will appear, which is going to be stealing the vehicle that actually is on the train. So there is a truck that is going to end up doubling as your acid lab. So all you have to do is you eliminate the enemies and start to work your way to a vehicle that appears on the map. Now, this vehicle can be kind of frustrating to get off. Just kind of pay attention where you're turning your wheel as you get into it, and make sure that you are popping snacks, as they will shoot you out of the driver's seat. You can either go left or go right after jumping in the vehicle, but I personally recommend just kind of going left and working your way through the area that is down below. If you go right, it's going to kind of be hard to get up over the mountain, but I just went left and then followed the train tracks and then worked my way all the way back to the freak shop, where the mission is finally complete and we are done with this one. So now that we are closing in on the final steps of our acid lab, this is going to be massive for our income. As you can see, we earn another $16,000, and now we are sitting at a pretty dollar in our bank account. We have over 2 million with $273,000 in cash, which we need to make sure that we are depositing. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that cash in our bank account, and then we will get a call from Dax. So now we will be doing our setup mission for our Brickade 6x6 acid lab that we just stole, because we want to be able to make money from it. And to do that, we need to steal supplies for the acid lab, aka the acid lab equipment. There will be 3 markings on the map that you can go to. I'm just going to take my heli and fly over and start to work my way through this facility where it has a couple of enemies, and I can just steal the acid lab equipment. This mission is super important though, being as easy as it is going to give us the lab equipment that we need to get our lab up and running so we can continue to make acid and ultimately sell that acid and do drop-offs in public lobbies to make an insane amount of money. If you guys are doing full acid lab sales with full lobbies with up to like 30 players, you get an extra percentage of boost to your money for every player in the lobby. So you can load up with a buddy and do an acid lab sale and then make a ton of money. So just load up on the forklift, work your way around. I know it's going to be frustrating and annoying, but you know, it is what it is. At least we're getting free lab equipment and we are able to start our next important business and creating a passive income in GTA 5. Okay, so after you are done loading up all the acid lab equipment on the truck, you are just gonna drive it back to the freak shop where your setup mission will be complete and you can spend some money on your humane lab. Then we are on to the last dose one. This is an intervention mission, which is our closing point. We are almost done with the Dax missions. This mission can be a little frustrating. Make sure you guys are taking cover and just shooting rockets, because there is a lot of enemies that continuously spawn over and over and over and over again. This is one of the only missions though towards the end that you can really just die a bunch of times. The next one that we're gonna do, we actually just need to survive a trip, but just take your time, work your way around. For some reason, our acid guy got kidnapped and we need to figure out who the kidnapper is. So we need to take out the kidnappers for the last dose mission. I don't know where these guys came from or where they got this idea from, but just take your time, eliminate all the helicopters and eliminate all of the kidnappers. After you have slowly worked your way around the building, destroying all of the helicopters and eliminating all of the enemies, you and Dax will have to regroup. It's gonna make you walk all the way back over and talk to Dax. It'll throw you through a cutscene, and now we will have to start to figure out who just kidnapped Lab Rat and why they are involved. For that mission, we will earn $14,000 though, and we will continue to just make our money and find our way to the top of GTA 5 Online. We also are going to get a $100,000 bonus for that mission as well. We are on the first mission now of the last doses. So we're gonna head over to Alicia Island where we just steal a vehicle and then it's going to deliver and we get another $18,000, which was super easy. And we earn another $100,000 for that last dose mission. And then we're on to the third one, which is going to be Freed Mine. Now for Freed Mine, there's not really much going on here. You just need to survive your trip and you're just going to be tripping like crazy and eliminating yourself, which makes little to no sense. But it's one of those missions that annoy you, and it's a super easy one. All you have to do is quote unquote survive. It'll give you another $18,000 along with another $100,000 bonus for completing the mission. And then you're on to the next one, which is going to be Last Dose 5, the BTKD. So for this mission, we are going to enter the Vellum. And then we have to fly to the Los Santos International Airport and follow a helicopter that is going to be taking off. This one's super simple. It's just like those hacking missions that we have done in the past with the van. All you're going to want to do at this point is just follow the helicopter and begin the hack. After hacking the cargo plane, you will have to stay in range, and then the back will open up and you will see everybody inside. So you're just going to want to jam your plane in. I guess that's realistic. I don't think I've ever seen that happen even in a James Bond movie. But we will now be taking over this cargo plane with the Badonk-a-Donk roster. And I don't know who this guy is, but he's jumping off. However, we are not going to be leaving to chase him. We will have to land this plane as our, I think that's supposed to be the therapist. I don't know. But we forget about him and we end up having to land the plane, and the mission is not completely over. So after driving the plane around, you will end up landing it on the Sandy Shores airfield, where you will meet up with Dax, who is helping to unload the vehicle. So take your time flying this big boy around, as it is super slow and you don't want to risk crashing it. I actually haven't flown a plane this big in this game yet, so I was kind of nervous about the landing. You guys should take your time as well when doing the landing. It will just instantly throw you into a cutscene, though. You don't have to worry about too much, and Dax will pull up in his truck. And all he's going to do is start to unload the crates, and while he is unloading the crates, you are going to be getting pulled up on by every police officer in GTA 5 history. It's just constant runs of GTA police officers. So just use your rocket, keep blowing up the vehicles, and try to keep them off of Dax as much as you can, as there is going to be loads and loads, as well as helicopters. They start spawning armored vehicles at times. Pay attention to the sky. Try not to blow yourself up on your own plane, as the helicopters will use them to keep them between you and him. After that's done, you're going to want to enter the truck, and then you need to escape from all of the police. Now, escaping from the police is easier said than done. I do not recommend following the route they give you on the map. I usually just turn left and kind of go through like the off-road excursion over here. That way the police can't spawn on me. If you are struggling to get away from them, though, you can hop out of the vehicle and just die. I'm pretty sure it still bugs out the police, and they do not chase you. If you just jump out and die, you can jump back in the truck and drive it back. But I was able to escape the police myself by using the train tracks and the off-road areas. So we passed the mission, we secure another $14,000, and now it is time to go work on our gun bash, because we have not been back to our bunker in a long time. So make sure you guys are depositing all of your cash before you do this, and then head on back to the bunker, because we are officially done with the Dax missions. The easiest way to get back to the bunker is going to be fast traveling all the way back to your Chumash. So all you gotta do, like I said earlier in the video, is switch your preference to Chumash bunker, and then we actually should have our vehicle ready to do an extra ammunition delivery, which we are going to knock out to earn that $50,000. And then, of course, we need to fast travel back and work on our sell mission, which is ready to go as well. So once we fast travel back, we can go to sell stock, and we can sell to Los Santos for $171,000, which will, once again, spawn the vehicles in front. We're going to get a phone call with a vehicle to deliver, and we just need to deliver the weapons to the drop-off. There is 5 total drop-offs. Every time you go to a drop-off, it will show you the next one, and you will be getting chased throughout these drop-offs. Once you're done with that, you just need to eliminate the Merryweather at the final drop-off, and you will be complete with the mission. I usually just died a few times. It really doesn't matter if you die on these missions or not. Just eliminate all the enemies and then leave the area. Once you've left the area, it will say the weapon shipments were delivered, and you will get another $171,000 added to your bank account. So now it will be time to work in the direction of completing our Cayo Perico initial setup. So to do this, we need to go collect the freed mine sports vehicle and actually return it to a guy at a nightclub. So to do this, you just got to go hop in the freed mine vehicle. Once you are inside, go ahead and drive around a little bit, and you will be able to pull up your map and see the next location for your start mission for the music locker. So the music locker is going to be all the way over at the casino. So you're just going to drive over and go inside, and then you will be able to meet this guy named Miguel. Now, Miguel is going to help you steal the money for the Cayo Perico mission. He is the guy that you essentially are doing the Cayo Perico for. So to do this mission, we are going to have to buy a submarine. If you guys have not purchased a submarine yet, go ahead and go on your phone and purchase the submarine so you can start doing your Cayo Perico setup. Then you must escape the police from the music mission, which is super easy. Just go ahead and fly over to your submarine, where you will meet the man that helps you complete your Cayo Pericos, which is by far the best money making method in GTA 5. So my personal spot that I always do my setup for the Cayo Pericos is actually Vespucci Beach. So take your helicopter, fly over to Vespucci Beach. If you guys don't know where that is, pull up your map. It is the left side of Los Santos, where there is like a little Ferris wheel and all that going on the boardwalk, and request your Kosaka. Now, landing on the Kosaka is not the easiest thing your first time doing it around. Eventually, you'll be able to purchase a Sparrow, which actually physically spawns in the Kosaka. But for now, we would just have to land where the Sparrow would enter the Kosaka, which is going to be this little flat spot on top of your Kosaka. This will keep your $10,000 helicopter that you just paid for on top of your Kosaka, so you can do your setup missions as fast as possible. You can also use dinghies to go to the mainland if your heli happens to get blown up on a mission, or you just don't have direct access to it. So go ahead and enter your Kosaka, where you will meet the homie, and you can go to the touchpad and start your mission. Now, a couple of things to note here. This is the first time I did the Cayo Perico on this account, so there is a couple of extra steps that I will not have to do when I do the Cayo Perico the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. All of those times, you do not have to do these extra steps that I am doing. So all we have to do is go up and gather intel. If you click X, it will allow you to start the mission. So for the first one, we need to meet Dave and head over to Mr. Rubio's area on the island. Now, this whole party scene that we are going to go through the first time, like I just said, we will not have to do again. So hop in your helicopter and fly over to the dot on your map, and you will meet people like Dr. Dre in this cutscene. So kick your feet up, grab a snack, and enjoy watching your cutscenes. But after the cutscenes are over, you will load into the plane and fly over to Cayo Perico, which is basically the island of Mr. Rubio, which is by far the richest man in GTA. I mean, I have stolen $20 million from this guy with the amount of times that I have done this mission, and he still somehow owns this island. But this is his personal party. They hired you as a DJ, so you came out with Mr. Dave undercover, and you brought these boys from Kenny Music. You know, you can take some shots, dance around, vibe out, get a lay of the land, and then eventually you are going to sneak off from the party. The best way to sneak off, though, is just staying on the right side behind this rock and start to work your way around. As the security guard walks past you, you will be able to sneak off and work your way through the island. Now, this is just the very first time. Like I said earlier, you do not have to do this again. You will be able to just hop on a motorcycle and drive through the island of Cayo Perico, following the same route that you are seeing me take now. When I say the same route, take the exact same route with the motorcycle. We don't get the chance of having a bike right now, so we have to work our way through the island on foot until we get to this ATV. Once you get to the ATV, though, you can take it all the way around the island. There is a little like satellite up here that we will have to come back to. That is actually all you have to go to when you originally start on Cayo Perico missions. But for now, we need to sneak to the entrance of El Rubio's compound and take a photo. I don't know how I got stuck here, but it is what it is. We just gonna keep acting like we aren't footing it all the way to El Rubio's compound, though. But like I said, just follow this route and you will have to snap some photos and send it back to the mainland for your boy who is on the submarine of what Mr. Rubio's compound is looking like. After you've snapped some photos, you just need to head back to that search tower where I actually crashed my ATV, and you need to find the communications CCV stuff. Now, the CCV monitor is actually on random spots along this tower every time you come to it. It could be on the bottom floor, it could be on the second, it could be on the third, or it could be on the fourth level. This time it happened to be on the first level, so all we have to do is go over to the signal box and then do a little math. It will just ask you to slide it across, and the number at the top needs to be the exact same as the number on the bottom. So just do your best to match it up. As you can see, it was like a 2 times 1 and it equaled 2. So I had to actually work my way back and then do 2 times 2, which was 4, and then 5 times 1, which gave me 59 total on the top and 59 total on the bottom, which allows me to hack their CCV cameras. After you're done with that, you will pull out your phone and enter the CCV app on the bottom, which is going to be called Sightseer. Once you're through this, it's going to put you through a cutscene. You watch a guy get eaten by a wild animal, and you just don't want to be next. So our goal here is to not get caught and get fed to the panther. I mean, come on, bro, who wants to get eaten by a panther? But after you go through this cutscene, you can continue to scroll through the cameras, and this is actually where you will find what you are going to steal from Mr. Rubio. Every time you come here, you're going to go to the basement. The first time you come, though, they make you do this safe. Usually there is something that spawns inside of that little glass area over to the right of the safe, along the lines of tequila, a ruby diamond necklace, and a actual pink diamond. Now, the pink diamond is by far the rarest. I actually only got the pink diamond once while I was grinding this game on this account for this specific video. But after you've searched through your Sightseer app, you're going to want to off yourself in game, and it will spawn you back at Rubio's compound. Once you are at Rubio's compound, you are going to run all the way over to the north dock. Now, we only have to do this on this specific setup mission because we have not done the Cayo Perico yet. Don't worry, you will not have to do this the next time you do the Cayo Perico, just this specific time. The reason we have to come over here is to take a photo of the main dock. So after you do that, you can start to work to the next step. The next step will be taking a picture of the bolt cutters on the side of this boat dock. And then after you're done with that, you're going to work your way all the way back to the airport. Now, we did find some cocaine here, but we don't need to worry about that because we are mainly just going to be looting the airport when we do this mission specifically by ourselves. So after you've taken a photo of those bolt cutters, just work your way back. Try not to get spotted. It should be fairly close at this point in time. Just pull up your mini map and pay attention to where the enemies are actually searching along the road, and just run your way back to the airport. Now, once you are back at the airport, you're going to want to go to the hangar that I am at, and there will be some more spawn points for cocaine, weed, and cash. We are specifically hoping for cocaine and weed. Weed being the second best next to cocaine, and then the worst is cash. Cash fills up your bag the most and gives you the least amount of money, and cocaine fills up your bag the least but gives you the most amount of money. Now, after you've checked that side, go ahead to the other side and check it as well, just on the off chance that there is actually some cocaine spawn there. Now, this is just to avoid putting cash in our bag if we can. Some runs you will be forced to put cash in your bag. Okay, so after that, we are going to want to hop in the Jeep that you just saw me jump in, and you guys are going to want to follow the route on screen. Drive up to this point. You could continue to keep going a little bit, but then you're going to want to jump out, go on foot, and work your way over here to the boat. This is the same dock that we were at earlier. We are just trying to specifically finesse our way to the boat that is in the boat dock so we can go around the island and get to the other points that we need to scope out. These points that we need to scope out are our arrival entrance, as well as where we will physically be entering Rubio's compound on the final mission. Now, before we get to those steps, we're going to have to do some other things like setting up the mission, but what you're going to want to do is drive over and jump in this all black boat and then take it around the island. Be very careful here. Don't let anybody spot you while you're in the boat because you will alarm the guards and have to restart. As you can see, though, I marked it on the point. This is going to be on the backside of Rubio's compound. So just take your time and drive all the way around the island. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's just time consuming the very first time. You will not have to do this ever again because you will have already marked the point. Now, once you are here on the backside of Rubio's compound, you're going to swim down and see this drainage drainage tunnel. Now, I would say you scoped out a compound entry point drainage tunnel. Once it says that, you know you are complete with this specific point in the setup mission. Now, once you're done with that, continue to drive all the way around the island because you now need to snap a photo of the main dock. As you can see, I just marked it on my map. Just keep driving your boat all the way around. Don't really worry about anybody catching you at this point in time. There is nothing to worry about. Nobody really spawns over here, so you can just keep driving straight, vibe out, and then eventually you will be at the main dock. Once you're at the main dock, just hop out, pull out your phone, and snap a photo, and you will be essentially done with the very first setup for your Cayo Perico. As you can see in the bottom left corner, it tells me that I scoped out an infiltration point, which is going to be the main dock. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to head all the way back to the airport because we are essentially done with our setup now. We just need to take a photo of the control tower. Okay, after you get to the control tower, just go ahead and pull out your phone as we have been doing. Snap a photo, and then you are essentially ready to go. There is plenty of other things that you could do for the setup. You can check other spawn points and stuff, but we are not going to need to do any of this. So after you've done with that, go over to the pilot and let him know that you are ready to leave. It then is going to throw you in a cutscene, taking you all the way back to Los Santos, where we will begin our setup missions with Pavel. Now, remember, on these setup missions, make sure you guys are landing the helicopter on top of your submarine like I spoke on earlier, so that way you can continue to use it and you don't have to request your dinghy. After you've done that, head over to the H on your map and begin the prep section. As you can see, this is all the intel that we've gathered. We've gathered 6 of 8 entry points as well as other things. So for the prep, the first thing you're going to do is go to approach vehicles and go all the way down to the bottom where you see Longfin. Now, a couple of tips I can give you guys on this specific Longfin mission is if you get the Merryweather headquarters one, just go ahead and do find new session and reselect the Longfin challenge, because the specific one that is Merryweather headquarters takes about 30 minutes. It is very long. Now, these other ones aren't too bad. It gives you the Vinewood, and I believe there's one that is Vespucci Police Station. So all you're going to do for this specific mission is go and steal a truck. Now, you can steal the truck, or you can drive all the way over to where the yellow marker is on the map and kill everybody around the actual yellow marker. Now, as you can see, I'm doing this right here where I'm just kind of raining down on them with my rockets. I went ahead and stole the cab first, but you could do it either way. You could fly over and shoot everybody, then fly over and get the cab, or you can drive over, park your truck, and then work your way to eventually shooting all the police officers and jumping in your cab and stealing the boat. Now, after you have stolen the boat, there is a couple of ways that you can go about this. You can either try to run from the police in an 18-wheeler cab, or you can let the police kill you and you will no longer have the cops on you. As you can see, I killed myself right there because I didn't want to have to deal with the cops when trying to load the truck. But after killing myself, I'm just going to run all the way back around to the truck, hop in, and pick up the boat. Super easy and super self-explanatory. And once I have the boat, I'm ready to move on to the next step of the mission, which is just deliver it to the airport. So after you've done that, you're going to head back over to the H inside of your submarine and work on the next step, which is going to be the cutting torch. Now, the cutting torch is always going to spawn in a construction site. There's a few different ones. You never really know which one you're going to get. To be honest, they're all super easy though. All you have to do is collect the hard hat or rain down rockets on everybody. And after you've rained down rockets on everybody, just collect the blowtorch that spawns in the bins. For the most part though, you can just run past all the security guards with a hard hat on and they will not even notice you. You literally don't have to do much on that mission. It's the easiest one by far out of all the setups. And then you are on to your next setup mission, which is going to be going to the casino. Now, this you do not have to do ever again. This is specifically going to be for El Rubio's penthouse. You need to like steal his codes for his safe. So once you get here, just shoot these two guys out front of the door so nobody knows you're coming inside. Now specifically shoot them with a rocket. Otherwise, everybody will be notified and you will be fighting demons to get through here and find the head of security. After you've got inside though, you're going to go ahead and eliminate these two enemies in the bedroom. This is the head of security, so we can just take care of him and then work our way on through the rest of the compound. After eliminating the head of security though, you will find the safe code and you just need to work your way out of the compound. Like I said though, you will not have to do this ever again. Normally, you will just need to do the plasma cutter mission and you will be basically done. After you've done that, they'll go ahead and exit the penthouse, hop back in your helicopter, and lose the cops. If you guys are struggling to lose the cops, just let them kill you, and they will automatically be off of you, and you can fly all the way back to your Kasaka. Once you're back at your Kasaka, though, the heist prep will be complete, and you will have acquired the safe code, and you can work on the next mission, which is going to be the specific one known as Fingerprint Cloner. Now, this is for the fingerprint step on the mission. We will get to that here shortly, but this one's super easy. You just need to go to the warehouse and destroy the cameras and go inside. Once you are inside, there always will be 3 to 4 enemies on here. The one behind the box always has a shotgun and he will one-shot you, so just be very careful. I usually come in with a rocket and shoot a rocket at the ground to try to eliminate as many as possible, and then I shoot him with my rocket as well because he will tuck around the corner. After you've done that though, you're just going to go over and hack the laptop, which is pretty self-explanatory. This is by far the easiest hack that they make you do in the game. Somehow I failed it this time, but all you have to do is just let the letters fall into the blue bar and hit the button acquire to lock the letter in. The password's always going to be Panthers. Once you're done with that, jump back in, and then you're going to head over to the archive. Outside of the archive, all you have to do is destroy the cameras, walk inside, grab the finger cloner, and you are basically done. The finger cloner will always spawn in the back left corner of this building, so you can just run right back to the left desk in the very back and then hop back in your heli and go back to your Kasaka. Once you're back to the Kasaka though, your heist will be essentially almost ready. All we need to do now is one more step. We need to go collect our weapon loadout, which is going to be the aggressor. Always select the very top one, is the easiest one to do. There's a couple of them that you could do, but aggressor is by far the easiest to complete, and that's what we're going to be using for every single time we do the Cayo Perico. So after you selected that, you're going to go to the Schlongberg Sack Center. Now, there is 3 different options. You are always going to want to land your heli on the roof and go in from the roof. If you go in from the bottom, it will be very hard to escape. If you land on the roof, you can just simply walk in, blow everybody up with your rocket, and then head out, and it will spawn some helicopters that are going to try to kill you. Be very careful once you get in here. You actually don't need to kill this guy in this room, but I felt the need to kill him just specifically for video purposes. And everybody should basically die from your rockets because of the fire. After you've done that, you're going to head over and you need to try to open the gun locker. It's going to tell you no. And then once again, you need to hack the laptop. Now, to hack the laptop, all you gotta do is find the numbers, and then once you're done with that, it will unlock the gun locker where you can collect the weapons that you will be using on the Cayo Perico heist. Head back to the roof. Be careful on the roof. There is 2 helicopters that spawn, so run out the door instantly, have your snacks prepared, jump in your helicopter, and fly back to your Kasaka. Once you're back at your Kasaka, you are ready to do the finale. So we will select all of the things that we just collected. So after hitting start, you can purchase some super heavy armor here. Confirm your settings. Make sure you do it solo. Do not do it with a random because they will probably mess it up, and you cannot do it completely quiet, or so you will not be able to get your bonuses. Now you're going to want to select your approach vehicle as the long fin. After you have selected long fin, we have 2 options for the infiltration point. You can either do the main dock or the north dock. Always do the main dock. The only reason the north dock is up here is the game specifically makes you scout that. That was where we took our first photo, and then we drove all the way around the edge of the map as you saw and took our second photo. Now for our compound entry point, we are going to select drainage tunnel. This is very important. This is by far the most important part of the mission. So select drainage tunnel, and then for your escape point, you are going to select main dock. It has 3 options here: the airstrip, the main dock, and the north dock. Honestly, if you don't select main dock, you will automatically lose. There is a specific bug with the main dock escape point, so make sure you guys select main dock for this point. Now, after you guys have selected main dock, you are essentially ready to do your first run of the Cayo Perico. It will be much easier to set up the next time because we won't have to physically scout these escape points as well as the entry point. And then you're just going to select time of day, which will be night, as well as your weapon loadout. To do this, you're going to do the same exact thing we just did. Just click on it with the X button, select day, and move on to the next section. Don't forget to do this, otherwise you will not have any guns. So go to weapon loadout, select aggressor, and put suppressors on for the loadout. If you guys forget to select suppressors, you will not be able to eliminate some of the enemies that we need to eliminate, so make sure to select suppressors. All right, now that we are on the mission, you're going to instantly turn left with your boat and drive all the way over to the airport because we need to fill up our bag with that extra cash. Now, you just want to park the boat just like I did on the shore and work your way across the airstrip. When working your way across the airstrip, there's only one person you need to worry about, which is that guy that was walking around with the AK. After we are across the airstrip, we are just going to simply break in and fill our bag with the weed on the table. As you noticed, I did not pick up that cash because I don't want to fill my bag with cash. So I'm going to hop in the little work vehicle and work my way up with the forklift so I can actually jump over the fence, because that ladder does not actually exist now. So then we're just going to fill our bag with the cocaine and weed all the way at the top, and now we have $377,000 extra for our thing. By looting our bag, we have also just earned an extra mission bonus for completing your bag as a side quest. So that was super important. After you're done with that, you're just going to run all the way back to where you parked your boat, and now it is time to enter El Rubio's compound. So just follow like I'm doing right now. You're going to want to drive all the way around the edge of the island, past the spawn point where we spawned at, and turned left, and just get on over to El Rubio's compound. Once you are there, jump out of the boat and swim down to where we snapped that photo. Now, at this point, you are going to hit right on your D-pad and just hover over the green things that are highlighted while holding right trigger to cut the physical bars to swim through it. Once you have cut through the gate, you're going to run up. Make sure you guys are equipping your rebreather. I always forgot to do that. Then you're going to press right on the D-pad. You will go into a cutscene that spawns you at El Rubio's compound. Now, pay attention to the route that I'm about to do. This is the exact route you guys need to run to not get detected on El Rubio's compound. You're going to go up the staircase and then avoid that guy on the left, jump over the fence or run around it, and then completely run through the compound. Now, be very careful of the guy walking around in front of us to the top left corner. You need to make sure that he is not looking at you. So if you have to slow down and let him turn around, as you see, he starts to turn around and walk away from me, I'm now going to work behind him. Now, this is the first guy that we will eliminate. Wait for him to walk to where he is standing right now, tucked away in the corner, and then shoot him with a headshot. After that, slowly sneak your way around this corner. Otherwise, you will get detected by this guy right here, and you do not want to kill him. Just let him survive and then work your way. Now we will eliminate the second enemy, which is going to walk around the corner right here. Make sure you guys shoot him in the head and put him down as fast as possible, as he will notify everybody that you are there. We picked up the gate keys, but don't worry about those. We will not be using the gate keys at all in this mission. So run over here and immediately open this safe on the wall, which will give you some extra cash as well as a pistol and a first aid kit, but you're not going to need that. Once you are done with that, you can grab the card off the table, but you don't need to do it. You just need to head on over to the actual hand machine, and this is where we will do fingerprints. Now, I used to struggle a lot with fingerprints until I figured it out. So as you can see, that one is number 1 at the top, obviously. If you guys are struggling from that point on, though, all you need to do is set it to what is essentially the top piece of the fingerprint on the right, and then it's in order. It goes 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 as you are rotating through the fingerprints. It will literally match up with whatever line you are specifically on. So as you can see, I always try to get to the first fingerprint, and then I just move it to the right a couple of times in order from the actual section that I am doing. After you're done with that, though, it is going to open up and you will go down to the basement where we will have to input a code. Now, this is the only time that we really have to input the code unless we get bail bonds in the mission, which never happened to me, but I've seen people get it. So just go ahead and run on over and unlock the gate. Now, that little glass shelf in front of us is normally where our loot will spawn, and we will have to use the glass cutter. But for now, Pavel is going to send us a code in the bottom left hand corner. Just make sure to enter the code. This is the same style safe that we did on the Cluckin Bell mission. If you guys remember, all you have to do is just do the scroll wheel and enter the code that Pavel texted you and hit X. When you're done with that, the safe will open and you will be stealing the Madrazo files. Now, this is, accustomed to the very first mission. We are essentially stealing things for the Madrazo family, any other time we do Cayo Perico, we're basically stealing it for ourselves. So as you can see in the bottom right corner, we have $1.5 million as our total take, and we just need to escape the compound. Now, to escape the compound, follow the exact route that I am doing. Now, pay attention to the minimap. There's a guy with a skull. That guy has a very, very big minigun, and he also has super senses. So if he is around you, either stand still or walk very, very slow, because he will be able to detect you, and it will be a GG's, and you will have lost your bonus for this mission. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner, it's just a guy slow walking around with a minigun. Sometimes he will get out of sync and make you work your way out of the compound. Once he is crossed, though, you're just going to work your way down the staircase the same way we came. Do not eliminate this guy on the left, just go past him and hang a right. After you've hung a right, you will pass the guy that you eliminated on the left, and you are just going to jump over this fence right here and work up the staircase. After you are up the staircase, there is 2 guards that spawn on the left hand side. Sometimes they will be out of sync and the guy will be walking at you. Do not stress out. He will just walk over right in front of you and then turn around the opposite direction, and he will not see you. So you don't have to worry about him finding you. And then once he turns around and walks away, don't worry about the guy on the left. Just run straight on over to that yellow point. Try to stay out of the guy's reticle and hit right on the D-pad. It then will put you into a cutscene. This cutscene makes no sense to me to this point. For some reason, all the enemies despawn. You look around, you're banging on the door, and you simply just hit a button and the compound opens. But as you can see, literally there is no enemies in the cutscene. There's nobody on the left. Once you are out, there is one more guy that we need to eliminate. So we are going to run all the way over just past this tree, and there's a guy that spawns here with a motorcycle. You're going to eliminate that guy and jump on the motorcycle, and then follow the route I am showing on the screen. Specifically, the route I am showing on the screen, because there is a bug that allows you to complete the mission over here. Otherwise, you will have to run from the helicopter. So go behind this guy, go up the side of the mountain, and continue to go straight. Now, pay attention to the minimap. As you can see, there is a point at the edge of the island up here, and my goal is to essentially jump the bike off of that point. I want to just be full speed, hit the jump, and go into the water. Once I'm into the water, I'm going to swim straight down after equipping my rebreather and take my way ultimately out of the map and complete the Cayo Perico. You are basically done here, so you can, no stress, hands-free, just swim at the bottom of the sea, and you will see a little divot, and just follow the divot. Eventually, the mission will complete itself, and you will be done with your first ever Cayo Perico. Congratulations. There will always be a helicopter spawn, and it says the body is found, but don't worry about that. They will not find you, and you will be thrown into a cutscene that lets you know you have now passed the heist. It's going to show you all these wonderful bonuses. As you can see, our total take was 1.4 million, but we got 100% of that because we did not complete it with anybody, and then we also completed it in under 15 minutes. We failed 0 hacks, and we had full loot bags, so we get the elite challenge, which is going to add some extra money to our take, which we love. But that is a big $1.5 million. This is by far the best heist in the game. Shout out to Pavel for hooking it up with a big bag. After you've done that, we can see we now have $3 million. And then we also earned $200,000 for completing the Cayo Perico for the first time. So technically, we just walked home with $1.7 million. After you're done with that, you're going to want to deposit all of your money into your bank account and then head over to the Dynasty 8. We are now on the part of the most important part of the video. This is where we will develop our income. Once you are into the Dynasty 8 Executive, you are going to go to Agencies and select the Little Soul Agency for $2 million. After you have selected that, you are going to go ahead and just click purchase. There's not any upgrades that you need to do from this point. The only reason for having this is so we can do the Dr. Dre missions. Now, before we do our Dre missions, we are actually going to fast travel all the way back to our freak shop. So before you do your agency missions, because this will actually take us a long time, head back to your freak shop and you are going to spend $750,000 on an acid lab. Now, this acid lab will make us tons tons of money over time doing these Acid Lab sales. So you're constantly going to come here and buy supplies, just like we did in our gun runner business as well. So if you guys have not been paying attention to your gun runner business, go back there and complete all your sell missions for the gun runner business, as well as your deliverance to the ammunition. But once you're done with that, and you've purchased your Acid Lab and you've bought some supplies, you are ready to head to your agency. Once you're at your agency, it is time to meet the man, Franklin. If you guys played the GTA solo missions, you know Franklin, you know his dog. He's a pretty chill guy. We enjoyed our time with him, but it is going to put you through a very long cutscene where you learn about Franklin's business and his connection to Dr. Dre. Once you're done with that, though, you're going to head over to your F on your minimap, which will be at the golf course. It's going to put you through a lot of cutscenes. You're going to learn about Dr. Dre's hostile situation with these two men that are pissed off on the golf course that he, for some reason, is just taking way too long. Then you need to scare them away, so you're going to be chasing them down with your golf cart, slamming into them, and ultimately forcing him out of his golf cart onto Vespucci Beach. Once you are here, though, you are going to give him a couple of swings with your golf club and essentially scare him, because they told Dr. Dre that they were going to report him and keep him out of the golf club, and we want Dr. Dre to like us so we can start his missions on trying to help him with his situation. His situation is his phone has been stolen, and we are going to be the collectors of his phone. Now, on this phone, he has some like unreleased music as well as some files that he wants back. So that is your job as an agency. Once you are done with that, though, you need to head all the way back to your agency, where they will put you through the very first cutscene of Dre. You have your hacker looking around trying to figure out where his phone is. They will put you through the initial cutscenes with the man that, you know, this guy is the clout chaser of GTA 5, so don't worry about him. Just continue to roll with your missions. Now, in the meantime, while you're waiting on Franklin to update you, you're actually going to head over to your laptop. Once you're at your laptop, you are able to access your agency server and complete tasks for your agency, which will make you some extra cash, as well as add cash to the vault that is behind. So for your VIP contracts, those are going to be your Dr. Dre missions, and then you have security contracts. So everything is ran through this computer. You will be able to complete these, and then you just need to wait on the cooldown. So once you're here, though, you are going to do your startup for the Dr. Dre mission, which is dealing with the FIB. Now, there is a helicopter at the top of your agency, so now you can have a free helicopter whenever you wish. All you have to do is go to your agency, go to the guy at the front desk, and click Leave with Helicopter. Once you are here, though, you are going to be breaking into the roof. Now, this mission is pretty self-explanatory. Once you are inside, there is a room on the back left corner that you need to break into by blowing it open. You can use a rocket launcher, you can use hand explosives, you can use whatever you wish. Now, sometimes this mission bugs out and you actually don't have to defend this room because no police spawn. So you never know what's going to happen, but for now, we are going to be installing the software on the computer and protecting the room. In this specific run, nobody actually pushed in because somehow the mission bugged out. I still don't know to this day what physically bugs out this mission. If you guys happen to find out, please let me know in the comment section, because I would love to help everybody in bugging out this mission and make it easier work on all of y'all. But on this specific run, nobody pushed me. I was able to just kind of hang out behind this pillar. Maybe it's this specific asphalt pillar that forces people to not spawn. But once it's done, you are going to walk back into the room and rip the hard drive out of the wall. And you need to leave the situation. So to do that, you're just going to go back to where it lets you know to exit the FIB building. This will allow you to exit via the roof where your helicopter is waiting on you to make a speedy escape. Now, you are a 5-star threat, so just pay attention to where all the police are and work your way up to the roof. To get to the roof, you're just going to have to go all the way up this ladder and be very careful going up that ladder, as they will spawn helicopters that are going to try to destroy you. So make sure to just go deal with those helicopters that spawn in the air. Once you have dealt with that, you now need to lose the cops. Those helicopters that are red on the map are not based with the police. Those are actually people trying to protect the hard drive. and you should just be able to escape via helicopter. Once you have done that, you are going to head back to your agency, press right on the D-pad, and it will just auto land you at the agency and take you inside, and you will be ready for your next piece of missions for your agency. That is the first mission complete for Dr. Dre. We now have to watch a cutscene and then begin our next steps preparing our agency so we can continue to do Dr. Dre missions. Now, while we are waiting, just head on over to your laptop in your room and log into the agency. Once you are logged in here, we will now need to complete some more contracts. So what we just did was classified as a VIP contract. Now we need to do some security contracts. So to do these, we are simply going to select, it doesn't really matter, any one of them. They all kind of take about the same exact amount of time. I usually just select the easiest one because I wanted to secure some cash, but you can either do vehicle recovery, gang elimination. They're all essentially the same amount of time. After that, go ahead and head over to the guy like I spoke on earlier, hit exit the agency and exit via the helicopter. You now get a free Super Velito. So huge shout out to the agency. We can always fly it back as well. Press right on the D-pad. We don't have to worry about landing it. Once you're done with that, you now need to go to the Vagos and delete their captains. To do this is not the easiest thing, so try to stay in your vehicle. If you guys have your wonderful bulletproof vehicle that we got in the beginning of the video, if you have not done it, pull out your phone, purchase it. It is free. It is called the Duke of Death. It is under the War Stock section. So once you're in your Duke of Death, go ahead and delete those two captains and then work your way around, and there will be a third captain. After you've killed the third captain, you will secure some cash. We made $52,000 for that specific agency mission, and now we are going to get a phone call because we are ready for our next Dr. Dre mission. So we can fast travel all the way back to our agency, or we can drive back. I always prefer to fast travel. You guys can do whatever you wish. Once you are back there though, go ahead, head back over to your computer and click start on your next VIP contract. To do this, just go to the VIP contract section like we did in the past, and there will be a segment that says Nightlife, High Society League, and South Central League. We need to chase all three of these leagues down. As you can see in the bottom, copies recovered 0 of 3, and the payment is $1,000 or $1 million. Sorry, excuse my French. $1 million for the VIP completed contract. So we obviously want to get this done, so we are going to hunt down the first Nightlife League, which is investigating the Diagonal Signal at the Los Santos Triads Nightclub. They are one of the 3 major gangs in the Los Santos area, so it is not the funnest thing to do. But after you have done that, you are going to head all the way back. We can now complete some more agency security contracts. So for this specific one, we are going to do vehicle recovery, which gives us $70,000. All we have to do for this specific one is head on over to the airport. They will spawn a motorcycle inside of a plane, and you just need to steal the motorcycle and drive it all the way back to the agency. Once you're back, you will secure your $70,000 and be ready to work on the South Central mission for the Dr. Dre. Okay, so now that you are back and you have completed a security contract, you should get a phone call from Franklin right after loading in, letting you know that you need to return to the agency, log back into your network computer, and begin the final mission for the Dr. Dre with South Central Leak. Now, I said final mission. This is the final for this segment of missions. It is actually not the fully final mission, but for this one, we need to recover the copy of Dr. Dre's stolen music from the Vagos. This is a super easy, self-explanatory one. All you gotta do is go over to the Vagos and get to work. So after loading up and completing it as a solo, you are going to go across the map to the Vagos. After you at the Vagos' hideout, you basically need to eliminate everybody, and it eventually will spawn you into this cutscene where you need to chase this guy in his lowrider vehicle with the wonderful Vagos writing on the back. So just go ahead and instantly hop in your vehicle and run him down and try to eliminate him, and then steal the lowrider. After you've stolen the lowrider, you're going to take it back to the agency and deliver it, and you will be complete. So at this point, you guys can either go do a cell mission for your gun runner or your acid lab and just wait on Franklin to give you a call, because now you are done and you just earned $100,000 for the setup for the final Dr. Dre mission, which is actually kind of a fun mission besides the cutscene at the very end. If you guys want to kill some time, go ahead and log into your computer and check your VIP contract just to make sure that you completely finished everything and it says complete. And now you are just waiting on a phone call from Franklin. Once you have received that phone call from Franklin, it will let you know to return to the agency as always, where you need to meet with Franklin and Amani, and you will begin the final mission of Dr. Dre. After returning to the agency, it is going to thrust you into a cutscene where Dr. Dre is hanging out with Franklin and Amani. Now, this cutscene is pretty long, along with others on this mission, so grab some snacks and enjoy. I guess at this point, there is no way to skip these cutscenes, so he's basically just congratulating you on getting all the other things, but letting you know the job is not finished. And Dr. Dre wants his car returned at the record studios. So you now are on the final steps of the Dr. Dre missions, and it is time to ball. So now that he has notified you, all you need to do is head back to the agency, and there will be a vehicle appeared on the map, which is actually a fun vehicle to drive. And then you're going to head over to the record studios in your Dubachi, and there is going to be some enemies hanging out front because they have now trapped Dr. Dre inside. So you need to eliminate everybody. Just go ahead and pull out your rocket launcher and go to town. After eliminating all of them, you are going to head inside of the studios. Just take your time, make sure you don't die. Don't really worry about police. For some reason, the police do not spawn at all. I don't know why. I mean, we're literally hanging out in front of a studio just shooting rockets off at everybody, and there is absolutely no police. But as you can see, I'm just taking my time eliminating everybody, and then I'm going to work my way inside after taking out all of the hired gunmen. Once you are inside, Dr. J is trapped inside of his studio. This is by far one of the least fun missions to deal with. Everybody has shotguns, they're hiding around corners, so just be patient. Work your way through it, deal with all the people as they approach you. I die over and over and over again every time I do this specific mission because it's just impossible to avoid all the shotguns that are hiding around corners. So just slowly work your way through though, and eventually after eliminating all of the hired gunmen, it will put you into a cutscene where you get to hang out with Dr. Dre. After you have eliminated everybody, head over to the mark on the map, and it is time to throw you into another Dr. Dre cutscene where he is playing the song that got leaked to everybody. Him and the homie AP are going to be making a rap song. So grab some snacks, kick your feet up, and enjoy this. But we are not quite done, because now we need to figure out who sent everybody to stop Dr. Dre from recording in his recording studio. So we've passed that mission, but let's go ahead and take that 10 grand and jump onto the next step. Now, the next step is going to be killing Johnny Guns. We just earned $100,000 for completing that, so we are just going to fast travel back to our agency and begin the Johnny Gun steps. So after fast traveling back, you will get a phone call from Franklin letting you know to return to the office and hunt down Johnny Guns. So this is the final step of Dr. Dre, which will earn us 1 million big buckaroos. So this is super exciting at this point. We finally are here. We have worked all the way to get to this point, and it is don't F with Dre. So go ahead and hop in the vehicle and begin your way to find Johnny Guns. Now, you will find him here, and you will also be met with a lot of gunfire as he escapes. So eliminate all the enemies after the cutscene goes through, and you will need to run down Johnny Guns and his Dominator. So take your time here. Once again, don't really stress too much about getting out of there as fast as possible. Just eliminate all the enemies and then follow the yellow dot on the map where you will run into Johnny Guns. So this is the final piece of the Dr. Dre missions. We need to chase him inside of the hangar. We've seen his vehicle has been abandoned outside, and there is going to be a ton of enemies waiting for us to show up to try to eliminate Johnny Guns. So take your time, blow up all the propane barrels, anything you need to do. I wouldn't recommend taking cover behind propane. I don't know why I did this specifically here, but luckily they didn't explode it. So I'm just going to keep working my way around, eliminate all the enemies as I go, and eventually I will get to the man, Johnny Guns. They all will instantly push you once you go around specific corners, so don't really stress too much about trying to overpeak and eliminate enemies. They kind of will all just expose themselves. Eventually you just stay in cover, work your headshots, and work your way to Johnny Guns. There is a vehicle that spawns in the hangar to the right. Just shoot your rocket launcher in there after you've eliminated everybody and equip some snacks. And then it is time to find the man, the myth, the Johnny. So to find him, all you need to do is go up this staircase and he will always be at this specific point. And your job is to injure them. So don't shoot him in the head. Try to shoot him in the chest, the arms, the legs, anywhere besides the head. After that, you will be thrust into a cutscene from hitting right on the D-pad, and you will drag Johnny out where Mr. Dr. Dre is waiting for you to deal with Johnny Guns. He's got his golf club. Something with Dre and golfing. Does Dre actually golf in real life? Let me know in the comment section if you know anything about Dr. Dre and these golfing habits. I feel like he has to be an adamant golfer to allow GTA to portray him as a essential golfer. Like almost every single scene deals with Dr. Dre and golfing. Then you're just going to give Dre a ride to the Pacific Bluffs Country Club where he has played his song for you, his wonderful brand new song in the whip, and you drove him to his, extensive helicopter and crew that I don't know why they just couldn't pick him up at the airport, but we had to drive him across the map to the country club where we will be finally done with the Dr. Dre missions, and we will secure our massive amount of money, and it is time to work on to the next step of developing a passive income. So as you can see here, mission passed, and we will be complete. We secured $1 million, a little bit of XP, a little bit of RP, and we also earned $250,000 for completing the Dre mission for the very first time. So now we are sitting at a pretty 2.2 million, and it is time to work to the next steps. Now, the next steps are handling everything that was going on while we were in Dr. Dre. So that is doing our Acid Lab sales and our Chumash bunker sales. So as you can see, when I went to my Acid Lab, I have a value of $182,000. So I can just go ahead and sell this and make my quick bag because I need this money to eventually get my nightclub. Now, once you start the mission, you're going to get a call from Mutt, and it's just going to be letting you know that you need to take your bike to all of these drop-off points. There is 10 total. If you guys do this in a public lobby, you will get extra money per player allowed in the public lobby, but you are very vulnerable. You're driving around on essentially a moped. Like, this is a motorcycle with no cover, so I don't recommend doing it in a public lobby unless you have a friend that has an oppressor who will protect you, and you spend time hunting for a public lobby where people are not griefing. As is, you don't want to sell your mission and essentially not make any money. But you do have the chance of basically almost doubling your money, tripling your money if you do it in a public lobby. But once we are done with that, we have successfully sold our acid and we made $182,000 there. As you can see in the bottom left hand corner, we did a couple sell missions. I just showed you one specifically here. We made $1 million from selling acid. So now we are at $2.3 million and we need to make a little bit more money. So we are going to set up another Cayo Perico and do a speed run. If you guys happen to not see me do the Cayo Perico mission, go ahead and rewind the video a little bit and make sure you watch that part. I explain exactly how to go through the entire Cayo Perico, but we made an extra little million there, and now it is time to move on to the next steps of the video. So for this step, we are going to go to the internet on our phone, head over to Money and Services, and go to Foreclosure/Maze Bank. Once you are in the foreclosure section, there is one thing that we need to buy here, and that is a clubhouse. Now, the reason we need a clubhouse is we are going to be setting up our businesses that will help us sell drugs out of the bottom of our nightclub. Well, not just drugs, but we could sell all different types of things like documents, cocaine, weed, all of that stuff as well. So what we are doing here is essentially creating a biker gang by buying this. So you're going to want to go ahead and buy this specific foreclosure. It's the Chaparral Clubhouse for $200,000. Now, our reason for buying this is to have our drug businesses run out of the bottom of our nightclub. We actually won't be utilizing this that much because our nightclub will essentially run all of these businesses for our motorcycle gang through it. So once you have purchased this though, you can go ahead and open up your open road tablet. Now, our goal here is to basically own every single business that you see. we want to own a forgeries, a weed counterfeit cache, a methamphetamine, and a cocaine lockup. So for these, you're going to need tons of cash. As you scroll through these, you always want to buy the cheapest one and then just complete the setup mission, and then you are going to hire staff, which will actually run the business for you. But we don't quite have enough money right now, so we are going to start with the cheapest ones, and the cheapest one being forgeries, which is $650,000. And then the weed is also going to be cheap as well, so we will be purchasing that one for $715,000. And those will be our very first two businesses that we set up through our nightclub. Now, each of these will have a specific GTA 5 Online wonderful fetch mission that we must complete. So once you are done with that, you are going to want to go back to your Maze Bank foreclosures, and with your leftover $1.5 million, you need to purchase the cheapest nightclub. Now, for the nightclub, you are going to want to buy storage. Eventually, you will upgrade your storage all the way to 5. However, right now, we do not have the money to physically upgrade our storage. Don't worry about upgrading anything here. We're just going to be buying the nightclub for $1 million so we can progress in having a passive income in this game. So that leaves us with $490,000. We need to make some money. So once you are at this point, T will send you tons and tons and tons of text. It is time to set up your nightclub. So you need to head over to your nightclub, where you will go through a wonderful cutscene meeting your nightclub general manager, as well as the guy that, you know, is supposed to help you put your nightclub on the map with your connections with all of the wonderful DJs, and he will always be hanging around. But the most important part of this is the downstairs of your nightclub. This nightclub is essentially a cover for all the illegal businesses that you are running out of it. So for the nightclub, you just need to do your setup missions. It will ask you to do a setup for your staff. So you need to go drive around the map and collect your nightclub staff. This doesn't make much sense to me. You know, I feel like if you had enough money to buy a nightclub, you might just pay like your bouncer or something to go collect your staff, or your staff will come to you. You know, you could give them some cash for an Uber if they can't afford it. But after you've collected 3 out of 3 staff, you're going to head back to your nightclub, where you will be done with your first setup mission for your nightclub. After you're done there, you're going to want to just, you know, head back inside to your office, go back to your laptop, and do the setup for the equipment. Now, this is another funny mission for the nightclub. I don't understand, once again, why we need to steal our equipment for $1 million nightclub that we just purchased. But you're going to head over to GTA's version of Burning Man. If you guys have ever been to a festival, you will know what I'm talking about. This is GTA's version of a festival, and you are going to steal all of their equipment by just simply jumping in the bus and driving off with everybody on top. This bus is very slow, so, you know, but there's not really anybody that's going to be chasing you. You don't have much to worry about. Just work your way all the way back to your nightclub. It's not the funnest mission, but hey, they make you do it. Eventually, all of your stuff will fall off on your way back, but don't worry about it. You can't fail the mission if the stuff falls off somehow. Now that you have returned to your nightclub with your staff and your equipment, it is time to get a DJ for Omega. So it's going to make you head back over to your computer, where you select a DJ. For me, I selected Solomon from the LSIA airport, and we need to go pick him up from the airport. So to do that, all we have to do is drive over to the airport and wait for him to land. But wait, for some reason, Solomon's driver is like maybe doing some drugs or something, and he has fallen asleep while flying the airplane. So you need to direct Solomon how to land an airplane, and he lands it all the way on the other side of the world because he couldn't land it at the LSIA airport. For some reason, his pilot fell asleep. So follow the plane, and it will take you to this airstrip where you will collect Solomon. You and Mr. Dave, the most talkative man in GTA 5 Online. I don't know who the most annoying character was, but Dave was definitely up there. That guy was a D1 yapper through the entire GTA Online series. So shout out to Dave, though, for securing a Solomon for Omega Nightclub. After you've collected Solomon, you're just going to drive him all the way back. Once you are back at your nightclub, you are done with your setup. However, we are not done yet. Now that our nightclub Omega is fully up and running, we need to get the illegal business downstairs going. Now, to set up all of your things, you are going to have to drive to the points on the map and access the laptop. So it's going to take you all the way to the forgery business start point. It will throw you through a wonderful, loving cutscene showing you the great forgery that you have just purchased. And then you're going to head over to your laptop as always and log in as a motorcycle nightclub user and select confirm on the setup. Once you have selected confirm, you have to go collect the bag. Inside of this bag is the essential parts needed for your forgery business. So once you have collected the bag, just go ahead and hop back in your vehicle and drive on back to your business, and your forgery will be fully set up. Your document production has now started. After you have done that, you are going to want to set everything else up. So it's going to throw me through this wonderful cutscene, and now I'm going to work my way to the weed farm, where we will set up the weed farm. And that's a very easy setup as well, so I don't really have the need to show that. All you need to do is go over to the laptop and log in, and then select setup in the laptop as well. As you can see in the top right, we still only have $487,000, so we are still going to have to complete another couple Cayo Pericos to purchase the other businesses. But I just wanted to show you guys in this specific video me setting up the weed businesses as well as the forge business. So once you have delivered the weed van, you will be completely set up with your weed business. Now these will fill up on their own. We do not have to do anything for the specific point in time with this business. Once you are done, head back on over to your nightclub. There will be some money in your safe that you can collect. This safe is going to be phenomenal for money. I made tons and tons of money through my wall safe. Almost every point I came back, I had $50,000, $100,000, $250,000 there. So once you are in though, you are going to hire your staff to complete the tasks needed down below. Now, this is important because this staff will run all these businesses that you have been purchasing and setting up, and ultimately making you money that you don't have to work for. So select hire on your technicians, and then after you have selected, you will select the produce that they will physically be working for you, which will collect you goods. Now, we can purchase equipment upgrades to ultimately make more money, as well as security upgrades. I do not buy staff upgrades for any of my nightclubs because it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but the security upgrade is kind of nice to have because when you go AFK specifically while doing your nightclub, you can just set your controller down on its analog sticks and it will go in circles, and your warehouse will actually fill up with goods that you can ultimately sell to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. To keep track of this, you will need to pay attention to your nightclub tabs. These tabs will give you everything you need to know constantly. You have your nightclub popularity as well as your sell good tabs. So after you've looked at the tabs and you are ready to hire your technician, you are going to select hire. Then after you've selected hire, you will select the goods that that specific technician will run. So right now I have 3 businesses, so I'm going to hire 3 people. And as you can see, you can select the person and then assign that specific technician to a thing. So my technicians, I will assign them to sporting goods, organic produce, and printing and copying. And then after I have purchased my other businesses, I will pay to hire more warehouse technicians, which will ultimately run those businesses as well. So I still need to get my South American imports, which will be cocaine, as well as my cargo and shipments business, which will work. We are now on the final home stretch of the video. So our goal now is to ultimately upgrade our storage as well as get the rest of the businesses that we can run out of our nightclub. So we now need to make more money. As you can see, we only have $213,000. So it's time to go collect our money from our wall safe and do a few more missions so we can ultimately buy all of these extra businesses to run of our nightclub. Your wall safe will always have, $50,000 to $100,000 plus dollars, and you need to pay attention to your nightclub popularity. The money that you make out of your wall safe will probably be used for your nightclub popularity a lot of the time. Now, a key step here is hiring new DJs for your nightclub. Now, the first time that you hire a new DJ, you will be forced to go collect him from the airport after stealing a vehicle to collect him from the airport from, and he will boost your popularity for your nightclub. But the money from your wall save, as you can see here, I made $169,000, will help you keep your popularity up for your nightclub. Now, to do this, you are going to want to go all the way down to the second level of your nightclub. Now, the reason to go to the second level is not putting yourself through a cutscene in your nightclub. Once you're at the second level, you're going to access the computer and you will go down to nightclub management, and you can see that your popularity has dropped. To raise your popularity, you are going to rebook the other DJ for $10,000 and then rebook the DJ again. It will cost you $20,000, but hey, guess what? Now your nightclub has full popularity and you didn't have to go through any extra steps in picking up a new DJ from the airport. You also went to the second floor, so you had no cutscenes. So now you are maximizing your time and maximizing your money. It costs 10 swaps between Solomon and Tale of Us to fill up your nightclub popularity, just so you guys know if you happen to go AFK. After you've done that though, you're going to want to complete a Cayo Perico, which will give you another $1 million, and just continue to do your side quests. So we now have an asset lab to sell, we have Cayo Pericos to do, we have Dr. Dre missions. Once you are done with that though, I made a quick $1 million. It is time to start my next business. Head back over to your laptop at your motorcycle club like we did earlier with that $1 million that you just secured, and you are going to purchase your next set. So for our next set, we are going to do the counterfeit cash factory. We are obviously going to buy the cheapest one like I spoke on earlier, which is going to be the Grand Sonora Desert one. And then we only have $248,000. So guess what? We got to do another Cayo Perico, which will give us another $1 million. And at this point, we are going to upgrade our storage to level 3. Now, our reason for upgrading our storage in our nightclub is this allows us to have more stock, which ultimately allows us to make more money when doing our sell goods inside of our nightclub. Now, a couple of things to pay attention to inside of your nightclub once you have finished doing all of your hires for your technicians through all the businesses is whenever South American Imports fills up, it is time to sell all goods. South American Imports takes the longest out of all of them to physically fill up. There's quite a bit of them here, but the South American Imports is by far the most important. So pay attention to that one. It is 0 out of 6 currently, and once it fills up, I will do my sell mission. However, now that you have acquired all of your technicians and all of your import businesses, you need to work on upgrading your storage inside of your nightclub, because at this point in time, we are not maximizing all of our businesses. So to do this, it is time to head back on over to the good old Cayo Perico. So we're going to complete another Cayo Perico. Grab a buddy if you want to. I did this one with my boy Breeze. Shout out to Breeze for helping me out with the Cayo Perico. And then we unlocked another $1 million, which we will use for our storage. As you can see, I have upgraded it to 3, and now I have 1.5 million from doing another Cayo Perico, and ultimately I was able to max out my storage. The storage was a little bit expensive. It cost basically the exact same amount as your nightclub, but you can make a little bag from your Cayo Pericos. Just keep setting them up and doing them over and over and over and over again. And ultimately, you will become a billionaire in GTA 5 Online. So now that we have purchased all of our storage and our goods are filled up, as you can see, South American Imports is a 10 out of 10. It is time to do a sell mission. Now, to do a sell mission for our nightclub, we need to own the Pounder Custom. So we got to spend another $320. But hey, we're going to end up making $889,000 from doing little to no work. All we have to do is enter our delivery vehicle and complete the 3 total deliveries. Now, note to self, if you guys do this in a online lobby, they will see you on the map and come and hunt you down. As you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, there is a little like Wi-Fi logo that's appearing red. That's telling me that the whole world knows exactly where I'm at. So when I did my specific first sell mission, I did it by myself in an invite-only lobby because I didn't want to fail and, do all this extra work to get to this point. But once you are done, you're going to have to protect the buyer's associate at the very end of the sell mission. and you will have completed your very first sell mission with your nightclub. Now, this is going to be the key for us making tons and tons and tons of money on GTA 5 Online. I hope you guys enjoyed the video though. Enjoy your nightclub, enjoy your GTA Online billion-dollar business, and we will catch you guys in the next one. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.